Welcome, everybody, to Adrift in Aldhalor, our weekly actual play D&D show set in our homebrew world of Aradun. We license our music through musicbed.com, and we also occasionally, but not often, use TabletopAudio for Ambience or Syrinscape. All fun services that you can use for your own content creation and or home games. And yeah, I'm going to bring Shannon in. And now, hi, Shannon. Want to talk a little bit about our partners? Wait, Shannon, I want to make sure. So you know what I'm checking? I'm checking audio. And you know what? You know what? No. They can only hear me. Hold up, folks. I'm bringing Shannon in. All right, Shannon, say words.
Words. I'm
There she
saying
is.
the words.
There she
there's
is.
my voice.
So it's
Hello,
definitely going to need to
everybody.
be updated on the other page too. But
Great.
working
Well,
here.
hey, look at you for checking and being proactive. I'm so
Do
proud.
you know what does it? Is it's
What?
literally every when we have a combat with a battle map, I do the Bluetooth for my headphones.
Okay.
And then I switch it back to wired for non-combat or non-battle map, and that's when it gets swapped around. So we know what the trigger is now.
There it is. We just need to remember to check it every time. Are we gonna have more combat today, Sean? I know we just had a bunch. But
I mean, you're in a crazy tower. You didn't, you're still.
Tower.
Although the place you're in is safe right now. It's been consecrated by the blessed wart of Pescos. I said my lore character's name wrong. Great. Been poisoned by you all.
Before we get to all that, Sean, let's talk about. Hold on, I'm not sitting centered in my frame, and I don't know if I'm going the right way or not. Hold on.
You're not.
It's great. Which way do I go? This way?
You're good there. Nope.
Oh,
back.
Shit. This way?
Why don't you not worry about it, and I'll sit comfortably and I'll fix it.
Okay, that works too. All right, I'm going to start with our amazing stream partners. I didn't start recording. Hold on. I just saw Audacity on the thing.
You reminded me of Audacity today.
Woo! So I'm recording now. Great, I am now. All right, so Arcane Spectacles is the first group I'm going to talk about. Step into Arcane Spectacles, where every roll of the dice is an adventure. Their exotic wood dice vaults and hand-selected dice sets are the perfect treasure for any TTRPG enthusiast. And with their personalized D&D themed ornaments, oh good God, I'm so tired, I'm sorry. You can keep the magic of your games alive all year round.
Wake up, Shannon.
You're
in a wizard tower.
Each ornament can be customized with your party's names, making it a unique and meaningful memento. So why wait? Join them at arcanespectacles.com and roll for the ultimate gaming experience. Scroll. Underground Oracle Publishing is a best-selling, any-nominated TTRPG publisher building new and exciting settings for the cipher system of every genre you can imagine. Each setting includes everything you need to explore its unique world. Oh my God! Including lore, species, descriptors, foci, creatures, ciphers, artifacts, and all the rules that you need to play. I'm sorry.
You're gonna have to put Sass in danger.
Oh, please.
Wake you up.
That will wake me right up. Please do. For as little as $3, you can join their Patreon and help shape each of the worlds that they create. Eddie Yorke, he's our character artist, and he's wonderful. He's an illustrator based in the UK, and he makes art for games and books. To visit his portfolio and get in contact with him, visit eyorke.com. I'm going to try and get through 1985 games without yawning. Here we go. Yeah. 1985 games. They create affordable, accessible, high-quality accessories for D&D and other TTRPGs. Uh-oh. Sean uses their NPC... Stop it! There's NPC cards. The worst. Sean uses their NPC cards. They're pretty great. Stefan, knock it off. If you want to purchase any of their amazing things, use the code paradiceprod for 10% off your entire order. Despite all that, I got through that without yawning. That one without yawning. So yay. Now let's nope.
Oh, you almost made it. You just need to start the next thing. You didn't.
I did. Yeah. All right. Whew, miscellaneous
Sass
things.
Can start with a point of exhaustion then.
Oh no.
No.
we got recaps on and VODs on Discord. VODs are all up to date, even though I haven't posted that they're all up to date, but they're all up to date. Recaps are not.
Yep. No.
But they're but are they all written? They're just not uploaded?
There's like 2 that are not written,
Okay.
and I just haven't posted because I don't want them to be out of order. So I have to write those 2.
That makes total sense. We need a business meeting so we can get this shit done.
Yeah.
But join us in Paradise in all the places. Bluesky, here on Twitch, X, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. When Sean switches to the main scene, check for audio. So let's do that.
I need to fix the audio, like we thought. And they should hear you now. Say something.
Something.
There we
Say something,
go.
I'm
Yeah.
giving up on
Well, not bad.
you.
Okay.
All right. Let's get into our recap.
Let's do it.
Last we left off, on the 23rd day of Decim, the Raven's shadow, on a Lunayam near. Iron and Mana engaged with the Gleamthorn Rot Knights, while attempting to flee through the sewers to get to the lighthouse, their destination. As they attempted to slip through the vines and cracks, a shambling mound and more knights appeared. The creeping rot that has plagued this land staggered members of the party, causing significant hazards. Septimus suffered throughout the entire thing with 2 levels of exhaustion, almost left behind in certain points, as Jacquette also struggled with a level of creeping rot. But through these challenges, you were able to make it to the ladder to the bathhouses below the lighthouse. Through challenges like the gullet of a shambling mound, tripping and falling up a ladder, and sealing the grate with fabricated stone magic, Iron and Mana reached the interior of the tower. But as they began looking through the dark space, the enemies behind them began thrashing against the fabricated blockade. These knights in the shambling mound refused to give up the pursuit. So, the party prepared and explored. Specifically, Bruce saw an opportunity to put his trapping background to good use. He set up an explosive and lay in wait with his trigger as his allies sought a way out to flee the enemies. While some were exploring the hallways, Jacquette was exploring the privy and found a little silver in there and maybe got caught in places he shouldn't have been in. But as the shambling mound broke through the fabricated stone and began pulling away and digging a wider opening to this room, Bruce finally triggered the explosive. The massive fire and shockwave killed the creature, but blasted a hole in the floor for the knights to climb up. As the party scrambled, they faced off the knights, while also attempting to flee towards the stairs that they found in a northern hallway. They used every ounce of their ability, including Bruce, heroically standing his ground to protect his friends with his cast iron frying pan shield and his little tricks up his sleeve. But it was Septimus that discovered the corrupted knights were vulnerable to healing spells. This effect weakened the creature's spores and allowed the party to strike more effectively without as many hazards. Both Septimus and Bruce, employing this against the knights, made the fight relatively even suddenly. And the party was able to cut them down. The knights fell to pieces, their ancient plate armor collapsed into the ground as you saw the shriveled husks of their once human form lay in the ground. The sentinel, the old knight from the previous chamber, appeared and mourned his dead comrades, but thanked the party for freeing their corrupted souls so they may rejoin their god. And he offered a gift in exchange. It seemed the blessed wort now grew from the corpses of these knights and consecrated the floor. The party breathed the fresh air anew, and for once did not feel the weight of the creeping rot's defilement. Furthermore, they discovered the blessed wort potions helped cure part of the rot on Septimus and Jacquet. Fearon proposed distilling new potions from the wort growing in this chamber to completely heal Septimus. And finally, while the light of the wort grew golden in the chamber, Bruce found an unexpected friend in the dark. A little kobold named Declan. The little creature claims to have been born in these tunnels and survived here with his mother, but the mother's nowhere to be seen. The party gathered in the chamber to rest and meet this new friend. And we left off there while Declan was showing you some tunnels that he uses to crawl around. So, iron and mana. You find yourself in the greater chamber across the hall from the bathhouses. The one that had sort of the concave basin that had several abandoned chairs and desks. What looked like at one point was a grand meeting hall. But in the back of the chamber is all of those writhing roots that have climbed down through the ground and the walls that originally looked rotted, like the defiled roots in the previous tunnels. But now is almost like it was burned with that golden light, and you can see there are very small blessed wort tendrils growing out of it. These ones are not as big as the ones growing out of the knights. Those of you who are doing nature checks to see if you can make a potion, discern that the ones growing out of these roots are not mature enough to harvest in any way, most likely. Whereas the ones in the previous chamber seem to grow much faster and potentially could be harvested in the way that you thought could possibly help. But right now, Declan is just kind of in front of you, a little in shock himself, as the little kobold, like I said, is not like Bruce in the way that Bruce is standing upright and has relatively a humanoid shape with a tail and the and kobold draconic traits. This kobold is got a longer snout that is more crocodilian, these long legs that have reversed joints that makes him look strange and crawl around in a off-putting way, as well as sort of the spindly, thin nature of his scales and arms. And furthermore, you notice that he seems to be infected with this creeping rot as well, although it doesn't seem to have killed him or overtaken him, almost as if he's carrying a dormant trace of it that isn't aggressively killing him. Perhaps due to the fact that he's spent his entire life, as he said, in these rot-filled tunnels. You see Septimus takes a seat on some of the ruined rubble, coughing up, hacking as he looks feverish, as he is still stricken with the not scarlet rot. This is a different world. The creeping rot. Whereas Jacquet was fully cured when he took the blessed wort drought. Septimus was only half cured. So, what would you all like to do?
Declan. What's in these tunnels that you're so familiar with?
Oh, tunnels go to food, and tunnels get us to the food, so we can survive. But you have to avoid the wolves, the scary men, the big dogs.
Are there scary men and wolves? Did you say?
Big fangs, long snouts, fur, cloaked.
Recently there, or not so recently?
I haven't been up there in a bit. Maybe a month.
He doesn't say a month. He doesn't know what time is. I haven't been up there in a while.
All right. Declan, can you describe your mother for me? Do you know her by any other names other than mother?
She looks like you.
All right. Any other discernible features?
His scales are not so reddish, more blue.
All right. All right. I'm
And then
gonna
you
try
notice
to...
like he has like his scales are like a mottled color. Like they look like they could have been blue at one point, but now there's sort of this sickly cyan, I would say.
Okay. Sean, I'm assuming that there's like a like a desk or a table that's raised up
Yeah.
in this courtroom, and I'm gonna walk over to it and I'm gonna sit down on it. I'm gonna take out my pipe. I'm gonna light it, and I'm gonna try my best with the very little information that I have to see if I can contact Declan's mother.
Interesting.
Bruce, if that's the wrong accent, Bruce, if we rest for a little bit, I might be able to look, but I'm fucking exhausted right now. I can't do it.
Yeah. How about we all take a rest here?
I'm already asleep.
We gotta. We should probably also see if we can get any supplies in the near vicinity as well.
Yeah, Bruce.
Right.
Even just like you thinking about attempting this sending spell, like it's not enough information to go off of. Like you keep thinking like blue scaled kobold, and like your brain just like goes to like a blue, like you can't help but picture a blue scaled kobold you used to know back in Halcyon. Like you just like it keeps getting this blank page gets filled in with other people you know, so you just can't latch on to it.
Got it. Okay. This is if anything, Bruce's experimentation with the capabilities of this sending spell. All right. All right, Declan. You got two options here. You either come with us, and we take you to a guy named Nolan, or you stay here. What would you prefer?
He kind of looks around and he looks. He's,
Where would we go? There's nowhere else. It's just the tower.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, there's a whole world out there.
Oh.
There's more than just the tower here.
Oh no.
Is that too overwhelming?
You suddenly see the inspiration for this kobold.
Oh no.
Now, if you want to experience this too, you're gonna have to listen to us, and in order to keep you safe, I might need to put you somewhere else. Put you somewhere while we're traveling.
Are you gonna shove him in your bag?
I'm gonna shove him in my bag, yeah.
Oh, actually, I'll mull that over, Declan. But if I may ask a question, have you ever seen this man before? And Jacques is going to minor illusion a image of Estos.
And you see sort of like his head on a swivel between Bruce and Jacques talking to him in this moment. Then he sort of looks over to you, Jacques, as you ask this. He goes,
Oh. Yes. I've seen this one. Who's wander the halls out there?
Huh.
He whispers under his breath, paces, moves about. Not as scary as the ones above. No fangs, no fur.
Okay, and have you seen this person recently?
Oh. Red-hatted wizard. Black robes. No. Not for some time.
And when you would come here, where exactly would he go?
He would pace the hallway. Sometimes high at the end of the hall towards the stairway. He would wait. He never left this room, though, other than going back the other way.
Do you think it's worth me contacting Estos? See if he knows anything about
No.
Declan's mother? Alright.
I feel like a thorough investigation of this place will give us the answers we need about. And
Right.
Jacques keeps looking at Declan, and like the way he says his mother, you seem like there's like a level of skepticism in Jacques' voice about this. As he goes, but let's take our rest and then maybe more thoroughly explore this place.
Oh, I can take you through the tunnels.
We need a minute, Declan.
Hour.
Before we go through the tunnels. If we go through the tunnels.
Are you guys, when we kind of pull together, like I guess Fionn would join the conversation and just look at them and say, are we sure taking him with us is the right idea? I mean, it seems pretty safe here, and he probably feels comfortable.
I don't give a shit. If Bruce wants to help out a little tragedy case, so be it.
I mean, it won't be consequential to us at all. I'll throw in my bag. He can fit in my bag.
Right, but like, what if his mother comes back looking for him?
Oh, Fionn, his mother is... And then looking back to Declan to make sure that he's not listening in. And if he is, Jacques we'll just like turn him around and push him a little bit. His mother's dead. 100%.
I wouldn't imagine that, a kid like him could survive down here, let alone live his entire life. Maybe she's a little bit more resourceful than you think.
Maybe. 10 silver says otherwise.
Oh, it's a bet now.
It's always a bet with me, Bruce.
I thought you said 100%.
100%. That's why I'm sure that I'm going to make 10 silver off of whoever wants to take this bet. Fionn? Bruce? Anyone? Saskia?
I'm already asleep.
Okay.
Oh, you have all the money, so you're really betting with yourself if I bet 4.
You know what? I'll take that bet. Why not?
Yeah. Don't
Yeah,
10 silver.
I just want to make it very clear that you're betting on the life of a sentient creature. That's on you, not me.
I bet on hope. You bet on murder. If I lose a little money, thinking that, like, keeping faith about, somebody alive, I mean, that I could live with that.
They can't. Oh.
All right, I'm gonna take a little nap.
Yeah,
I'm
Septimus and
short
Sass are
rest.
already asleep.
I'm
Bef-
snoring very loud.
Before we, sorry, I got a lot of sirens going on in the background. I don't know if you could hear them. Before we go to bed, Fionn definitely wants to
Not-
take it. Sorry,
I'm not
what?
going to bed.
Or whatever. Taking a rest. Fionn definitely wants to take a closer look at these plants and see what he can do using his capabilities to make them a little bit stronger, or basically mimic what he had previously ingested from
The elixir.
earlier. Yes,
Mhm.
thank you.
You can give me a nature check. And yeah, that's also a good reminder, folks. You don't have to sleep during a short rest. It's not like a long rest where you have to spend some of it sleeping.
Technically, it's been maybe an hour since we woke up.
Mhm.
If you think
That's
about
true.
it.
Actually, it's really early in the morning. Actually, so you might not.
It was a minute that we took in combat.
Mhm.
Literally a minute plus change, because that's how
Yeah.
long the poison effect lasted.
We did
That's
a
true.
short rest between the long rest and
No, because you went right into combat.
yeah, right?
Right.
It's basically you just finished breakfast and your breakfast was combat.
Yes.
I don't think my hit die reset because
This is something that we've never dealt with before. You do not get all your hit dice back completing a long rest.
Really?
You know, that's actually hilarious. We have
it
never
says
actually
up
dealt
to
with
five.
this.
It
Yeah.
says up to 5 hit dice. Okay. All right. Well,
Another reason
fuck.
why we need to evaluate how we do things.
That's funny. I didn't even realize that because I've so rarely actually run short restable encounters.
I guess I never used my short rest, my hit dice, so I'd never noticed.
I've been keeping track, but also I recovered, all of them, so I'm good. I might use a lot of them this time, though.
What was your nature check?
I believe it was a 14. Let me just double check that. Yes, 14.
14? Okay, so I wouldn't say that you're necessarily immediately thinking what the best way of making the exact elixir you had is. I mean, your mind thinks that likely using this in some kind of, boiled water might provide some of the results in the sense of like a tea. But you don't have the dried root. You don't have the processed root or leaves of it. It's just the actual fresh plant. So you do notice while you're examining it that it does, there's a sensation to the touch of the branches of this growing plant. There's a warmth, a radiating warmth that does not feel hot so much as it just feels like cozy in a strange way. It just feels your muscles, it's more like relaxing your muscles, lowering the tension than it is like a warming effect like a fire. So the plant itself has properties. It doesn't necessarily need to be processed into the dry form you all have to work in some way. So you imagine there might be something that even just the raw plant might be able to do.
Okay. Could I possibly, I have 2 bulbs of it, or 2 flowers, right?
Did you extract the blesswort from the corpses?
I think so, yeah.
Because last time you guys had just looked at it, but if you want to extract them, yeah, you can harvest them.
Then yes, that's definitely what I want to do.
Sure. So they don't necessarily have bulbs, and more so that it's like the actual you take a look at it and it's the leaves that are growing on it that you want to harvest. And then it seems that even just with your small proficiency in nature, like this whole plant is probably purposeful. Like you could probably just extract the whole thing from the body of the knight, and the leaves have properties probably, the bark probably has properties, the fibers within it probably have properties. This whole thing could probably be utilized for multiple purposes. But you know that the leaves are what the potion was made out of in the previous interactions.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna extract as much as I can out of this, and then during my rest, I'm just gonna, play with it and, test the properties of each individual thing in small, just eating it or breaking it apart and then taking a little bit and seeing what type of effect it has, or any way to test it that I might have learned through my studies.
Okay. And I'll say while you're up there taking a look at this and extracting the plant, you once again will notice that there is the 2 long swords and 2 sets of plate armor still out there.
Bruce, are you busy? Can I borrow you for a second? We have all this equipment here. It might be worth taking with us, perhaps to sell at a later date.
Yeah, I could just set it aside. Once I need to put my feet up for a little bit. Once I've done that, I'm more than happy to do whatever.
Great.
I want to loot the area as well.
I guess
after that.
since we have an hour of downtime, Jacquette will investigate these, and are any of them, I don't know, potentially magic items that would take an hour short rest to identify?
Yeah, all of them.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So Jacquette will take one of the long swords.
Okay.
Do you want to identify them?
No, actually, if each one of us takes one item and spends our hour short rest with it, we will be able to identify it, not spending any spells or spending an additional 10 minutes ritual casting a spell.
That's efficient.
I know. It's my middle name.
So what were the 5 items again?
Or
4. 2 sets of armor and 2 longswords.
I'm sleeping. So I'm no help.
Septimus can do the 4th one.
I thought he was sleeping.
Nope, that was just me saying that really quickly.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the long swords you can identify first. These are Gleamthorn long swords. The nice thing about them is that they are free of the rot that was on them, because you guys used your healing spells on the knights. These are free of any rot on them. They are just the ancient long swords that have whatever their inherent magic is. So the nice thing about that for you guys is that they are not cursed like they were.
Yay.
So that's good. But they are +2 longswords. They have a few properties. So they have Heavenly Thorn. By the way, this item exists in D&D Beyond right now. When you target a creature with an attack using this weapon, you can invoke the Thorns of Pescos, causing golden thorns to spring from the blade to cut foe and self alike. You then spend and roll one of your unspent hit dice and add the number rolled to the damage roll. So basically, your hit dice become a resource pool to deal additional damage.
That's pretty cool.
Gleam or Rot. Your attacks deal an extra 1d10 damage. You choose between Radiant or Necrotic. Rooted Grip. When you attune to this weapon, the roots wrap around your hand and arm when drawn. You cannot be disarmed by another creature while wielding this weapon. And then if they were cursed, they have the Rotten Curse, which applies creeping rot once you attune to it.
Damn. What's the name in D&D Beyond called?
Gleamthorn Longsword.
Very rare items.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect to sell.
Yep.
Or use. I feel like we could find some use for those.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think only you can use these, and maybe Sass.
Septimus.
I
can use them
mean,
as well.
Cleric could use them, yeah.
Oh, he's got. No, he can't. Cleric can only use simple weapons.
He's a Forge Cleric.
Yeah, he's one of those fun
It's a-
clerics.
It's a simple weapon, right? Longsword is a simple weapon.
No, it's a martial,
martial
weapon,
weapon.
and Forge clerics only get heavy armor and smith tools as bonus proficiencies.
Oh, wow.
Dang.
That's surprising.
Yeah, it is. I think it's only. I actually don't know which clerics get martial. Probably war.
Well, it's also different tomorrow, as of tomorrow.
Well, Forge, I don't think is affected. I don't know if they're one of the subclasses,
But the baseline cleric chooses whether or not they want to be a martial cleric or,
Oh, that's right.
or a
That's
caster
right.
cleric. So it would have
another reason not to switch, because then I would have been wrong. And I love being. It's my
So
favorite.
what about the armor, Sean?
Yes, Sean,
Once you get
what about
there.
the armor?
Sorry.
no problem. So the armor. One second. The armor, Sean has not made an item for yet.
Oh.
Okay.
But it is, I will say at the very least, it is +1 plate armor.
Okay.
That Septimus can use.
Yes. As well as Fear.
Yep.
And also, everyone gets to add a d6 to your short rest dice if you need
Oh.
to.
Whoops.
Because of
I already
Jacques'
rolled mine.
Song
Oh,
of
cool.
Rest.
I will add a d6 to what I rolled.
When Mike gets back next week, he'll have to do his rolls for that. He only gets half of his health back for his rolls because of the creeping rot.
Just have him use all of his hit die, I guess.
But yes, you can identify that the armor and the weapon only have their real properties. Similarly, the armor is also the curse that would have applied is removed from it by removing the creeping rot from the knight. So you don't have to worry about being infected by these weapons and armor if you were to use them.
Got it. Cool.
What does this armor look like, Sean? Like,
Is it
does it look
cool?
like it would fit us?
Well, it's a magic item, so it reshapes itself for the wielder if you attune to it. You can't just wear it without attuning to it, basically. Then it wouldn't fit you. But it's basically what we can see on the actual models. Like, it's going to actually look like this ancient old sort of almost corroded looking armor. So you're going to see greaves, you're going to see a breastpiece, you're going to see the shoulder pauldrons, bracers. It's going to look, you're going to look like you're wearing ancient armor that has a green hue to it and runes all over it.
That's cool.
Nice.
So yeah, it's going to look exactly like this. To the point where in Fear, and you might even be like, this armor doesn't fully cover my chest because it's old and corroded. And where the logic of cosmetic armor within video games starts to fall apart.
I mean,
of course, if Sass attunes to it, like in World of Warcraft, it will look like a metal bikini. But
oh no,
just kidding. But for now, it serves as +1 plate armor until I add the other features to it.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So,
I guess we take our
do we
full rest?
finish our long or short rest?
Yes. You are successfully able to finish your short rest. There's no disturbances. I mean, as much as this place feels comforting, like you might still be a little nervous being in the space. Like even just Declan pointing out that there are tunnels that he crawls through makes you start to think about other creatures that can crawl through tunnels. And even though this place is consecrated, that means sure the rot might not be able to get you here, but like physical entities could still enter the space. But even if you're just maybe walking around looking about while you're attuning or identifying, nothing seems to creep up. You hear the occasional skitter of maybe a rat or two. It actually sounds a little bit more alive in here. Like the drips of water even just sounds crisper. You notice the sounds of critters moving around. Like maybe the fact that this area is consecrated has become a beacon to those that are seeking refuge. As some small mice, more than you would normally see in most places, start to appear out of the roots and tunnels and walls. And so long as you don't shoo them away, like everything that has been scared in this place is starting to be like, I feel a warmth calling me to a chamber.
Mm-hmm. I think, could I have a tune to this, or do we just don't have the time? The armor.
You would not be able to because you used the hour to identify it. You would need to use an additional hour to attune to it.
That's what I figured. Okay.
For the purposes of coolness, you could be wearing it.
No.
I think Fearn was like roughly maybe only a little smaller than the smaller knight. So, but no, we'll just have it. You have it, and the next time you have an hour, you can attune to it.
Yeah, we can work it out later. Sounds good.
Okay.
I imagine first we should probably just get supplies on this floor first. But Estos and Norland, should we get to the top of this wizard's tower? Where
Norland told you need to get to the top where the actual fire is for the ritual.
Right. Okay, that's what I thought. So it's probably better to take the stairs upward rather than go through the tunnels. Unless there's
Depends on
something
where
in
the tunnels lead to you to. So he just said it goes to where the food is.
Right.
We just found the stairs. I figured that's
So-
where we were going, right?
Yeah.
I
mean,
think
if
that's the smartest play.
the tunnels might, be a little bit less obvious. Maybe like
So if they just go sideways, then there's more shit to deal with.
yeah.
The tunnels are a lot of things. Straightforward there in that, to Sass's point. And I don't know if our guide is exactly the best. He can guide us to what he knows, but what he knows is very different than what we're looking for.
Yeah.
I don't
All
know
right,
about
so-
the rest of you, but I'm ready to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. But before we go, let's just
Shoot. Sass is gonna have to flip this. Welcome back to the stream, everybody.
Are you recording, Sean?
I am, so no need to stitch. I can just upload the
Okay.
recording.
Fabulous.
You'll get to see the nice little moment of me going, Shannon's gonna have to clip this. But yes, I was recording, so.
Cool.
Anyway, the last thing I heard was you about to say something.
yeah. Declan, do you know any secret compartments that the people that inhabited this place previously might have hid some special items of the sort on this floor?
Secret items.
Something that I want to safekeep, not in the eyes of a wanderer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Follow me.
Oh,
And he scurries through one of the Bruce-sized holes. He like really like scurries.
Bruce gives one eye to Jacquet, and then to Fearn, and then
Yeah, because remember during your short
All right.
rest you barricaded the gate here.
Yes.
You can open it up freely though if you want to. It's not like locked or anything.
all right, hold on, Declan, as Bruce gets down.
This
and-
way. Come.
Fun with that. If you die, it's on you.
Yeah, Bruce follows him, but he makes sure that he's not going far. If he gets too far, Bruce is gonna be like, "All right, let's come back."
He's actually going back into the bathhouse area.
Okay.
So he actually doesn't take the double doors that you guys opened up there. He literally scurries through the Bruce-sized hole.
Okay. That
'cause
hole. I'm
he-
sorry. I was
yeah.
picturing another one.
No. There were two. So he seems to. It's almost like muscle memory goes through these. He doesn't like even if there's a door open. He's like, I'm going through the doors that are for me because I'm the kobold size. So you scurry through and follow him. He goes back into the bathhouses. Real quick, I am actually just going to quickly do something for tech reasons.
Okay.
One moment. Okay.
There he is.
So this happened last week where only one person's camera decided to lag, and it's on my end where Septimus's Mike's camera all of last session or the second half was all lagging. But his voice was fine. And it was just starting to happen to Stefan, but I just closing out and reopening it fixed it. So sorry about that for a moment.
Yay.
Shannon, another thing you'll have to trim out.
It's all right. Sometimes I just like to leave it in there for the comedy effect.
Yeah, that's right. Visions of Carl. I just wanted to have an alone moment with chat. Anyway, he scurries through the bathhouses. You can see he like slips on the slick ground and falls into one of the basins. And you just hear like a loud ping as then he scurries and pulls himself out. Oh, this way.
All right. Okay. All right.
And he scurries to the door that Jacquet never opened.
I knew it.
Oh no.
A little shit stain. I mean, he's a good guy.
And he you can see he opens the door right up and goes in, and he's very excitedly, like, when you're following him, he like would crawl on the ground and then turn around and look at you and kind of jump up and down until you catch up, and then scurries ahead until he opens it. And when he opens it up, you can see in here, Bruce, that this room looks like it has the equivalent of what we would understand as lockers. Like perhaps where the folks who use this bathhouse kept their personal belongings while they were using this area. And you can see they're all banged up, and some of them are knocked over. They aren't like metal lockers like in a gym, but more so like these wooden cabinets that have locks on them. That you surmise at one point may have been magical, because you can see the singe marks of runes on it. Like this at one point might have been a lock spell, might have been keeping a wizard's personal effects secure in this space while they enjoyed the bathhouses. Or were in the next room in a meeting in the large courtroom like area you all were resting in. But you can investigate this area. He just thinks you mean something nice, so he goes and scurries and starts going through a knocked over cabinet, and pulls out this like moth hole ridden like towel like robe that he puts on himself, and like drags behind him, and like barely his arms don't fit quite right through the sleeves of it, as he's just wearing this essentially hotel robe now that he comes out. They've got a few more of these in here. So soft.
Yeah, that's.
I wasn't supposed to come in here, but when Mother didn't return, my curiosity got the better of me. Don't tell her. You won't tell her, right?
I won't tell your mother, no.
Okay.
As long as you keep showing me where all the hidey holes are.
And he just like sits down now, and like his arms between his legs, as he just has this flowing like dirty, like covered in like muck robe that he thinks is the nicest thing he's ever worn. And you're like, that's kind of disgusting. If you washed it up, it actually would be quite nice though.
Sean, I do have my tremor sense on. Can I see what's inside these wooden cabinets or like wooden lockers?
Yes, you would be able to see that some of them are just open, like the door is hanging on its hinge or has been ripped off. But others, you would be able to see that there are a few that still have like what look like satchels in them, that are likely whoever was the last person to use this left in here. A lot of it has been picked over, in the sense that it was likely at some point in the chaos of this place falling, people did try to like loot or take what they could, but there are a few that were not reached, and these are the ones you actually see that have like what look like the most recent singes of a lock spell, almost like the magic naturally wore off at a certain point. And now everything in here is pretty mundane as far as the cabinets themselves, but there are a few bags in there if you wanted to investigate those.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. So you find one of them has an old spell book in it. That, you know, you're not a wizard, although you're an artificer, so you do kind of like just opening it up. You can see some pages fall out of it to the ground, and you can see magical equations written all across it. that you are somewhat familiar with, but it's not the same as the wizard discipline, the artificer discipline. So, like, you can recognize them in the sense of, like, oh, I get almost like the physics of this, or the math of it, but maybe not necessarily the academic side of it or the full application. But you can tell this is a wizard spell book.
Got it.
You would find that there are 3 potions in here that are kind of like caked with dust and grime, so it's like kind of hard to identify what kind of potions they are. One of them does look like what you could guess is what you would guess is a greater potion of healing. The other 2 are a little harder to fully know what they are.
Got it.
You find a stone engraved with mystic sigils that is about 1 foot in diameter. Which you actually know what it is when you see it, Bruce, because it's a common thing in Halcyon. Just a cleansing stone. It literally just cleans your clothes.
I love it.
Like and like your garment. It's like specifically for garments. And then you would find let me roll for this real quick. 47 silver pieces in there. And another small disc, like the stone that you have found, but this one's much smaller and it's metal. And it is inscribed with the image of a feather. This you don't know what it is.
Alex might, but
the next satchel you find has 62 silver pieces in it, which you actually find in a rather nice satchel, like a nice satchel within it, like a haversack within it, that is just a very lovely design. It actually looks like it may have had magic to it at one point and it faded, almost like this is a haversack that could be repaired to have magical qualities. You find a very, very nice set of clothes that look like at one point they were regal. Like whoever wore these was an important person. Actually, maybe for a moment you think like, ugh, there are some skeletons in the baths, and you're just sort of like, these bones now, whoever's clothes these were. But they do have traces of magic within them. And then there's another broken charm in there. And it looks like a charm that has a key carved on the front of it. That seems like it may have had a purpose that you're unsure of, but had obviously something to do with locking things. And that's what you find.
Sweet. Thank you, Declan. Here you go. And Bruce just tosses him the cleansing stone. Use that on your robe. Come on, let's walk back to the...
He starts just like, yeah, while he's walking with you, he just keeps moving it, not realizing that he's holding the stone. And as he's holding it, just slowly cleaning his robe. He doesn't realize it. He's like, how does it work? And he's just swinging it in the air, as you can just see the grime just slowly disappearing, and turning the robes to this pure, like fluffy white color. As then eventually he would look down and realize his clothes, how beautiful his robes are, and he would jump up and down and chase after you as he's falling behind a little bit.
And Declan, give that to the tabaxi in the room. He'll like you a little bit more.
Declan very sheepishly goes up to Jacquet because of all of you. He seems the most nervous around Jacquet.
Jacquet's just been searching the room while Bruce and Declan are off, just picking over all the wizard skeletons. And when he comes up, he's like, "Hello."
Your friend said you would like this.
He reaches out very tepidly, and he's like, "And what is this?"
It cleans your clothes. It'll always keep you clean, Jacquet, so you can stay fresh as ever for every battle.
And then just as
I was
Declan
giving him the rope.
and just as Declan had originally been like, "How does this work?" Jacquet almost identically goes like, "How does it work?"
Slowly, anyone looking can see the blood stains disappearing on his clothes, and his rings and necklaces started to look shined, almost like they've been polished. He looks a lot more like when he first got on that sky ship to come over here.
Wow, not too shabby.
Going in the back.
All right.
Find anything useful, Bruce?
Yeah, I found Declan pointed me here. It's a nice satchel, some money, that stone, metal disc with an image of a feather, 3 potions, and some clothes, and this broken charm with a key carved on it. So,
real quick, Jacquet, were you kind of looking around this room for stuff as well?
Oh yeah, trying to find not just valuables, but he's also trying to piece together what happened here. So if there's any books, scripts, letters that are still intact.
Yeah. Give me an investigation check.
Can I have been looking with him to give him advantage?
Totally. And now that you're really in this room looking around, you can see this also has several old skeletons in it that are, some of them even seated at some of these various tables.
17 on investigation.
17. Okay. So as you start to look through the documents here, you can notice that as you're reading them, they seem nonsensical to you. The more you read through them, they're in common. But you discern that they likely have a cipher on them that you would need to spend more time to translate. But you do find some still legible notes that you could decipher with a lot more time.
Yeah, Jacquet will kind of gather those up with Sass's help. Just being like, anything that you can still read, let's put together and see what we can make of it later.
You also find amongst some of this, you find a very, very ornate, pen, scribe's pen. That the second you pick it up, Jacquet, you would see on one of the pieces of paper on one of the desk a message appear that then vanishes as soon as it appears. And all the message says is the gods have forsaken us, and then it just, as if that might have been the last thing written with this pen.
Giving it a twirl, is there any kind of latent magical energy to it? All right, Jacquet will pocket that for now, and also whatever document that he had seen that on, he'll quickly grab it just in case.
Sure. All right. Any other things you want to do in these chambers? You feel pretty confident you've sweeped through and found what you can find at this point.
In that southern chamber, the audience chamber.
Yep.
Can we check that out, or was that included in part of?
I would say that was included in the overall search. That space is actually probably the most sparse in what's there.
Gotcha. Cool.
All right.
Jacquet didn't find any silver or anything like that.
Guess not.
You found 9 silver.
Yeah.
I imagine Jacquet's just literally like rifling through the pockets of every skeleton there, finding no silver.
Come on, don't hold out on old Jacquet. You gotta have something. Damn nerds. What, are they using banks over here or something? Opening lines of credit? Despicable.
John, you said that there's a doorway that's got stairs leading up.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Can I go and just like check out the stairs, like from like standing right in front of them and looking up as far as I can see, and see if they are dangerous in any way?
Sure, give me a perception check.
I'm still sleepy. That was a 10.
They're stone stairs. There's some cracks in them. Maybe you might want to be careful not to slip. They seem to go up for quite a while though. They are
Okay.
the angle is steep as they go up.
Do they wind like this? Or do they like
Nope.
go
They
straight up?
they go straight up.
And with my devil's sight, do I see like, are there doorways off the side of
Nope.
the stairs at all? It just goes up.
It just goes up, yeah.
Okay. All right, friends.
All right,
we
ready?
start?
Hey, making me yawn.
Sorry. Fuck, that was some just a fight. Are we ready to start ascending?
Yeah.
I can go first since I can see pretty far.
All right.
It doesn't look like that there's any they don't spiral, there's no doorways that seem to lead off of it. They just seem to go up. So guess we just start climbing.
All right. Here we go.
Right. I suspect it's not going to be as dark up there, so perhaps I should go first.
It's up to you.
I think we should have somebody a little bit sneakier, right?
I can go up first and make sure the coast is clear.
And then you could follow him, Fjord.
All right, if you want to play it that way, sure.
Just so we can,
Give me
manage the
like
situation.
a minute before you follow.
All right.
Jacquet will sneak.
Declan, you could stay here, but I'm gonna. Yeah. If there's
Once we finish our business, go ahead. Sorry.
You could follow us, or you could stay here. It's up to you. But if you follow us, you gotta listen to our exact instructions. We're trying to be sneaky around here.
I can be sneaky. Yeah.
All right. So stay behind us. Worst case scenario, if I tell you to get in the bag, you're gonna have to get in the bag. All right.
He looks at you a little confused, but is pretty like agreeable. He just nods. He may not fully understand what you mean by you have to get in the bag, but he is like, I'll listen to you. You guys are the nicest people I've met.
Understand what Bruce means when he says you might have to get in the bag.
Yeah.
I don't even think Jacquet fully understands.
All right. So you begin to, or at least Jacquet begins to go up the stairs. Jacquet, give me a stealth check.
Aye, Captain. Oof. 16.
16. You start to rise up these steps, Jacquette, and they keep going for quite a while. And it's very dark, but with your dark vision, you have that sort of limited black and white vision. It's about halfway up these steps, and they seem to go quite a while. You feel like you've ascended beyond the rooftop of the ceiling of the previous chambers, which was about, I believe I said 50 or 60 feet. And you can finally start to see something towards the top of these steps. And it looks like a light bluish hued color that glows with a dim glow, revealing the space to be dimly lit at the top of these steps. It's probably another 20 feet up. You hear, without a perception check, just generally the sound of water. Just sort of like the sound of maybe disturbed water, where it's just sort of almost like a footstep. But it's not footsteps. It's not this long, like, walking. Just something disturbed the water.
Jacques will go a little further up just to have a sense of what this blue light is that he's seeing. Is it like a barrier of some kind? Is it just ambient light from the next room?
Yeah, I'd say you get a little bit closer and you can discern that this is ambient light from the next room.
Okay. Can I get a little closer to see what the next room might hold without
if you
entering
want.
it?
Yeah, you can definitely get up to the lip of the top of the stairs and peek over.
Okay, then I would like to do that.
As you do so, you would look and see a regular stone arched doorway that leads into this next chamber. With a couple steps leading down that leads into a shimmering flat of water that seems to go on forever. The blue glow is not from the water itself in the sense of it being magical, but more so from the sense that there is a bluish indigo sky above you when you peek out there of stars and night. Even though you're certain it's morning, this chamber essentially just opens up into an endless salt flat covered in water with an endless sky of stars above. Impossibly large, of course, for the building you're in.
Quick glance up in here. Any signs of exit, like other doors?
Peeking around, like do you peek your head out the doorway a little bit to look about?
He's not gonna cross the threshold.
Okay. So without crossing the threshold, it truly is just a everlong flat. You don't see buildings here to your left and right at an angle, just looking through the doorway. It seems as though the flat of the watered salt plain literally vanishes beyond your just horizon view. There's too much air. It's just fog at the edges.
All right, Jacques will go back down, and finding the rest of the party, goes, we got more weird shit ahead. Some kind of strange, impossible room. Goes on for miles, with the night sky above, but it should be morning, and there's no ruins. It's not the city. Some more arcane tricks.
Yeah, maybe Septimus can use a spell slot and detect magic.
Maybe, but I don't know if that will actually help us. It's definitely magical.
All right.
But,
Sean, you're muted.
what kind of magic, whether we can dispel it, its origin,
Well, I mean, if we can't dispel it, the only thing we can do is go through it, right?
Oh, I just
Go
remembered.
and see.
I also have the thing that makes magic go away.
You want to give it a shot?
Let's go investigate first, but I don't think this will be as simple as casting Dispel Magic.
I also wonder if something will happen if we cross the threshold into the room.
Yeah, Viren, you should find that out. What? He's the biggest and the strongest. I know my place,
but
as should he.
What if it's whatever might be in that room is potentially triggered by like a step into the room? I could float into maybe and see. I don't know if that would help.
Be my guest, as long as it's not me going in first.
Understood.
So, what are you all doing?
Fionn's heading up the stairs.
Yep.
Okay.
Me too. Is there a railing on these stairs?
So these stairs are literally stone. Like there's left and right is a stone tunnel leading up.
There's nothing to grab onto. I mean, I suppose it still would work. If I cast levitate on myself, can I just kind of like push myself along the side of the stairs?
Yeah, I mean, you could literally just be pulling
climb.
yourself along the stairs, levitating a couple inches off the ground.
Yeah, I want to preserve my energy. Don't want to climb all these stairs.
Yeah, you can pull yourself along.
Cool.
So what's the order you're all going up these stairs? They are a little bigger than a single file line, so like two of you could probably stand astride, but you'd be close to each other.
Bruce is probably going to be in the back.
I'm frontlining.
Yeah, I'll be up with
Jacquet will be shortly behind them, just being like, just wait until you see. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, and even as you're walking, like you all would notice that like 50 feet behind you, crawling up the steps very slowly, like Gollum, is Declan, who is truly remarkably actually is very quiet. The one thing that is not in his favor is he is still wearing the very, very bright white robe. It's actually the only reason you actually spot him. Like you probably would not have caught him if he wasn't wearing that.
It's really disconcerting. Anyone else? No, it's fine? Okay.
It is a little bit, but just...
What isn't in this place?
You know, honestly, everything else. That's the weirdest.
You all are ascending these steps in fear, and you get to the top, and you peer out, and you see what Jacquet described. An endless pool of water with a night sky above. Think the Renala fight in Elden Ring. The Renala arena. In that way of just water forever and a sky. No moon.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Jacquet,
What?
you didn't say there was water.
It didn't seem like the most important thing.
Should I go swimming?
Fionn's gonna scream as loud as he can. Hello! Is there anyone out there?
God.
Hello.
How are you?
Jacquet immediately cocks his crossbow, takes out his knives, and he's just like ready for a fight. Like,
And if you scream that out, 1 moment passes. 2 moments pass.
After 2 moments, Fionn's just going to... Is it like as soon as you pass the threshold, it's water?
No, there's about I would say a couple feet before it becomes the water. There's like literally like 3 steps down from the doorway. At the bottom step is the water.
Do you want me to just stick my head in, see if I can see anything?
Yeah, no, Fionn's not waiting. He's just gonna go through.
Jesus fucking Christ! I mean,
I'm walking up to the water, but I'm staying on the land.
Okay. Fearn, as you step down the 2 steps, but don't take the final one into the water, to your left and right, there are stone walls that just go forever. They are designed similarly to the ornate pillars inside. This whole space is lit up with sort of, you might surmise, an artificial moonlight. So everything is caked in that sort of blue, violet, indigo hue. But there's no visible source of the light.
I look back at my friends who haven't crossed the threshold yet. Are they like still there, or like what does it look like? It's just like a door that's in the middle of the stone.
Yep, amongst all this endless stone, and the stone goes up probably 50 feet, and it has crenellation as if it were castle ramparts. And just behind you is a little gate, a little tiny curved-topped doorway, almost like a secret door you might sneak out of in a castle to go flank your enemies.
Secret tunnel.
And you see your friends just standing there, watching you. Like, ooh, like all of them, I'm sure, very nervous as you stepped out there. But they're not that far from you. It's only like a couple feet you've stepped in.
Do we still see him?
You still see him, yes. And these are like big steps, I would say. They're not like small ones.
You see Fearn looking left and right. He doesn't like leave the threshold, so like you can tell where he's going. He's like, well, there isn't much out here. We're kind of stuck. I don't know. Do we have enough? I'm not even sure if we have enough food to travel this distance.
Hang on. Let me try something. I want to go down and like kneel on the step before the water.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to, because I can breathe underwater, kind of put my face in.
Okay. You dip your face in, and you, with your eyes open, I'm sure, so you can see, because that was your plan. And this water is like 6 inches deep. You immediately look at ground. And it looks, though, it does appear to be, like I said before, it's like a salt flat. Like you just see the cracked ground of what was a salt flat plain.
Right. It's not very deep, so we can walk it. I'm sure when we step on the ground under the water, I think something will happen. So there's nothing under here.
I scream out again, Sean. Hello!
Okay, really? Is that necessary?
I'm going to use my level 5 feature. I'm going to use one instance of find traps. See if there's any, if this is a trap by any means.
Okay. So what does this look like when you use this ability, Bruce? And after you describe it, tell me what the exact mechanic is.
Yeah. I imagine Bruce, like, he takes out like a little like lens, and then just like puts it in his goggles, like a like a little module,
little filter.
And,
Cool.
Yeah, and like, but the thing is, he's got to like activate, because it's instantaneous.
Mm-hmm.
What he's able to see, and so there's like he puts his hand over, like he like rubs it, and like a rune shines on it, and he's like, I have to do this quickly, and then he puts it in, and then he's able to kind of just see through his tremor sense anything that's magical or physical that are traps.
Okay, and is there a range on this, or is it your vision's range?
I believe it's 30 feet. Let me just double check that.
It's basically a detect magic, but for traps.
You got it.
Perfect.
I'm sorry, it's 120.
Okay. So, you have this unique vision out looking for specifically traps, both of magical and physical nature. You don't see any traps, but Bruce, you have 30 feet of tremor sense, right?
Yeah.
This, you can see what's not there in that 30 feet. Like, there's about 20 feet to your right, there's a table. The walls on the opposite side of to your left and right are bookshelves. There's something underneath this enchantment.
This is an illusion, guys.
Oh, I was wrong.
This is a room. This is a room here. What happens when I do this? Because Bruce has his goggles on. We can't really see. So he's going to reach in his bag and he's got a rock, probably. Mm-hmm. He's just going to throw it at to where the bookshelf is. Does it bounce off the rock?
No. The rock... And you all see a rock just sort of splash across the water and then sink into the 6 inches. This illusion is both illusory and physical.
Okay.
In your mind, you can surmise that like entering the water like sews you into the illusion. And perhaps breaking the illusion is what would reveal the room underneath in some way.
It might be in our benefit to dispel this.
Let's get out of here first. And I take Saskia and just grab her hand and walk back down the stairs or head that way.
Wait, what?
Why?
I mean, so we don't get trapped in there if it's a real place.
Well, we don't have to go that far. Just step on the stairs.
Yeah, you could all fit on the stairs.
Do you want me to try and dispel it? I don't know if I'm powerful enough.
Hey, Septimus, you want to take a crack at it?
Septimus starts like as he's sick in the corner.
He's got 3 third-level spell slots, and he's got Dispel Magic ready to go.
Well, if we don't have an answer, I mean, we could try, but yeah. We could also
is he gonna... Do you want him to use a Dispel Magic? I think Mike would be okay with you guys using that.
I think
Let
so.
him try first.
Okay. And it's
doesn't work,
3rd level he has?
Yeah. I mean, he's got a 3rd, he's got a 4th, and he's got a 5th level slot.
What level do you want to cast it at?
What do you guys think?
I say keep at 3.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was going to say the same.
Roll.
Roll me a spell modifier. Roll me a wisdom roll.
Wisdom.
All right, he's got +5. Oh, that sucks.
Wow, you get his rolls too.
Yeah, I guess rolls.
You inherit the bad rolls.
Yeah.
What was it? 9.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't keep the log open.
It was a 7.
You see the magic latches onto the illusory space, and it just fizzles out. Like it tremors the water a little, and you just see this forever ripple go out. It just keeps going. Before you see, those of you not relying on tremor sense, the rippling water hits something that you can't see. As if, when rippling water goes up against a person or a rock or something, it wraps around it. About 40 feet ahead of you, it hits into something and just sort of disperses.
Do you want me to try?
If you want to.
All right. My spell level is 5th, so I'll do it at a 5th level. Do I need to roll?
1 second. Oh, you said 5th level?
Yeah.
Let me just check. I have too many tabs open, guys. I'm sorry.
Too many tabs.
Too many tabs.
Just see Saskia start to like concentrate and kind of hold her hands out, and like ghostly green seaweed starts to like wrap around her arms and start to float off her fingers towards the room.
It's much better than when Septimus does it.
I don't know that this is going to work. I really don't think I'm powerful enough for this.
Well, only the gods.
I believe in you,
can
Saskia.
answer them.
You could do it.
Believe in the you that I believe in.
Here's a little bit of guidance.
Believe in me who believes in you.
Believe in the me that believes in you.
Thanks.
Saskia, your spell hits the illusion, and you can see it starts to, and a large area seems to almost vanish. The water, you can still see almost like a crossfade of some of the water. Like you can see where the illusion you dispelled ends. But you are able to essentially dispel an area of this illusion.
Got it.
As you can see, just opening up on the ground in front of you is, I would say, a 30 by 30 cube. And it seems as though the illusion is continuing to be dispelled by this and going through. You're all watching as this is taking time, but it seems, Saskia, like you've dispelled a single illusion. And as you watch it start to peel away, it gets larger and larger. And
You're all seeing this, right?
150-foot cube, ultimately, is what is dispelled here. Revealing a room.
Yeah, Bruce is like taking off his goggles. Yeah.
As you've dispelled the
You doing
hallucinatory
it?
terrain.
Hey.
Hey, good job. I think it's working.
Nice job, Saskia.
Thanks.
What appears in front of you is walls that appear to have bookshelves all over them with old musty tomes. This looks to be a study with long tables. That it's about, as I said, 150 feet across the whole room. But it is only 100 feet wide. It's not the full 150-foot cube.
Got it.
There are... Go ahead.
Just for point of reference, when we entered, what direction were we facing?
In terms of the room or in terms of geographical directions?
Geographical.
North.
Thank you.
But this appears to be a lounge of sorts, a large study lounge. And once it's been revealed, you can see where that water had rippled against something. You see what looks like a hunched over figure. Long, heavy blue cloak. Was probably at one point a cloak that went completely over their shoulders, hooded, and then like went all the way down to the ground, like a really heavy cloak. And you can see that's resting on the hunched back of a creature that is bent down. And you can see it's almost like in a fetal position on the ground. And you can see its left arm, sort of from under the cloak, is thin and long, longer than an arm should be, and covered in hair. Perhaps this is the one of the furred creatures referred to by Declan. And there's one, and it's like I said, it was 40 feet into the room. And it's slightly to your right. It looks like it's hunched over in that fetal position amongst like a broken table that it is almost looks like it fell into this table.
Fion's just gonna quietly stare at it. Can we tell if it's like moving? Like, is its like chest moving? Like it's breathing?
Give me a perception check.
Sure.
This room goes up high, probably about 100 feet up, and then it kind of like you can see like the wooden beams of the rooftop. You can see at the top portion are these windows. You can see some morning light coming through, but like you saw outside, the morning light of Stormbreaker Landing is quite dim.
I got a 17, Sean.
You would notice the very, very, very slight raising and dropping of something that is breathing.
Fearn doesn't say anything, but he looks at the others and like points to the creature, and then just like and he just like lifts his weapon, like getting ready to attack it.
What if we're
Jacquet gives a very skeptical look to Sass, but does not like. Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea.
Can I sneak over to a bookshelf and just kind of start like trying to like see if any of the books are like
there are so many books here, Sass, that you would be spending like a good day or two trying this out.
Okay, then never mind.
Just use your arm. And
maybe you start Sass, and someone might notice Sass doing that.
But Bruce would probably be like, Sass, I could tell you if there's a secret passage if you're looking for one.
Oh, yeah, that is what I was looking for.
This room, is there like an exit on the other side? What do we?
Yeah. So if you peer across, you would see on the opposite side, like at first, like it's not an obvious exit. Like you would have to like look for it. Because everything in here is like a similar color and dark, but there is another 5-foot wide doorway on the opposite side.
Sean, real quick, glancing by with my blurry vision, I get close to the bookshelf. What are some of the names of these books that wizards like to lounge and read?
A bunch of random names. There are things like the esoteric nature of gravity magic, the scintillating light of radiant energy, you and a bag of holding. So you want to learn about patrons. The esoteric difference between divine and arcane magic, stuff like this. It's all very
the Feywild for dummies.
Feywild for dummies. Yeah, it's all very. This is not where you're finding the like valuable books. This is where you're finding the general study books.
All right. Well, I'm gonna
Beginner's Guide to Illusions.
I'm gonna grab you in a bag of holding. Gravity magic one, and what was the last one?
Illusion for dummies.
Beginner's Guide to Illusory Magic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
There's one it's called So You Summoned a Hellhound. Yeah. It's various different books.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, it's almost as if while you were criticizing Sass for doing something that's taking too much time, you are also doing something that's taking too much time.
Well, I wasn't
Meanwhile,
criticizing her. I was just
Jacques
saying, I have a
has
solution to what she's trying to.
across the entire length.
Yeah, Jacques, go ahead and give me a stealth check.
There we go. Natural 20, 32.
Wow.
Yeah, you are absolutely gliding through this space. As you move across, Jacques, you notice to the left, towards the back left corner, there's another one of these creatures.
Mhm.
And when you get closer to them, Jacques, you get a better look because you're stealthing by them. They are very werewolf in nature, the way they look. But you can see that they do also have, like, exposed muscle and bone. They are likely undead as well. And that breathing that he may have seen was not breathing. It was just twitching, possibly. With every step, you might even notice, like, a clawed paw, just like one finger, just sort of every time it twitches, making you nervous, although you feel confident with your stealth roll.
Mm-hmm.
When you get to the other side, Jacques,
Okay.
the one thing you'll notice on this end, and actually even like if you look back, you can see the glint of it on the other end, is there is a circular disc above the doorway that looks very similar to the ones that Norlin gave you, with the different holes in it and geometric shapes that are likely part of the fact that he did call this the astrology tower.
Right.
So Jacquette's gone. After
He just like entered the room and disappeared.
Well, he stealthed. Does anyone have a 20 or higher passive perception?
No.
He's gone.
Well, I'll say before he left, he saw Bruce and Saskia checking out the books, and he just kind of rolls his eyes and goes, "Okay, let me just." Okay.
Yeah.
And he just slides through. I almost imagine the first thing he does is ducks under a table.
Yeah.
As he like crouch runs.
Fearn is also trying to stealth, getting close to the creature with his weapon drawn.
Fearn, just fucking leave it alone.
I'm doing it quietly. I could have ran in.
I don't care.
Give me a stealth check, Kieran.
Oh, I'm fucking exhausted.
What are the other two of you doing while you see Fearn crawl up to this? Are you gonna hide?
Bruce is just very worried, standing behind Saskia.
Very well.
I'd say Septimus just hasn't left the doorway yet. He's just leaning against the stone wall.
Yeah, that's fair.
I got a 9, Sean.
Jesus Christ.
What are you doing, Sass, while he's sneaking up on this?
I will grab Bruce and dive under a table.
Okay. Give me a stealth check.
Okay.
Someone roll a stealth check for Septimus as well, who's, I imagine, just backing up into the stairway.
14.
I rolled a 13 for Septimus.
Okay.
Wasn't a 2.
Fearn.
Yep.
You go walking up with your weapon drawn to this heavily cloaked werewolf, it appears. You step and your plate armor just sort of does its thing. You know, it's not, you're not even doing anything in particular that is loud. It's just your plate armor is clanking.
Mm-hmm.
And you just see a paw like sticking out the same way I described to Jacques, just sort of as this thing just starts to rise. You hear growls from under the cloak.
This is the point where I attack Sean.
Okay. I'm gonna have to ask you to roll an initiative because it detected you. You don't get it.
That's fine.
Sneak attack here.
Is everybody rolling initiative?
Yeah. So that you have it. You know, if
Oh.
you're
Oh.
you know, this thing might not see you, but sorry, just pulling up some stat blocks.
Jacques just pulls out his drums and just starts jamming.
All right, what did you sorry, 20 to 25?
24.
Beautiful.
24.
Did anyone roll for Septimus?
I did. He got a 2.
Fair. 15 to 19?
I got 16.
16?
See,
10 to 15?
10 for me.
Sass, what'd you get?
4.
At least you
Rolled
beat
a
Septimus.
natural 1.
Eek.
Rather do it here than
He's
when
dying.
I'm pew-pewing.
Fair.
As I whisper to Bruce, why does he feel the need to fucking charge everything that we come across? Why
All
couldn't
right,
we just fucking sneak around?
Jacques, you're up first. You look back and see Fearn raising his weapon up at this rising large werewolf with a heavy blue cloak.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything specific you'd like to do?
I'm going to assume that I'm still hidden.
Mm-hmm.
Jacques will, if I'm within 80 feet of it, aim my crossbow, ready in action to attack the creature as Fearn strikes it.
All right. So you were back by the opposite entrance, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Just want to get my bearings correct here on distance. You if you're by the back entrance, right next to it, this creature was 40 feet into the room, so it's about 120 or 110 feet from you.
All right, so I'll use my movement speed to get closer to it, so I'm
Mhm.
80 feet away, and then ready the action.
Okay.
To attack when Fearn attacks, or basically
you're waiting for
after
Fearn's attack.
After Fearn's first attack, I will attack it.
Okay. All right. The werewolf is up. Fearn, you have your blade at the ready. You didn't succeed on stealthing, so you didn't get an attack off. You are preparing to attack as it's rising. It turns and looks to you, and you can see Fearn, this heavy blue cloak that has it. You can see faded gold trim to it. Like it looks like a wizard's cloak. Like this may have been a wizard at some point, but you can see as it looks to you, you can see grayed out eyes that look like they're rotting. You can see it's the muscles of its jaws as it opens its mouth and drools is all like connected very loosely by rotted flesh. Fur is splotchy and patched where there's some open exposed muscle. As you can see, sort of like torn rags across the chest and legs where once was the regal clothes of whatever wizard this was. As it raises up and it growls, and those grayed out eyes look at you. And you see they wander down and they look at your amulet. It doesn't do anything. It looks at you and it starts to look around. What was it? Everyone's stealth check again. Who hid Bruce, Sass, and Septimus? I believe it was.
Oh, I didn't roll for myself.
Yeah, you did. Didn't you roll a 13?
I rolled 13.
That was for Septimus, I think.
I was a 14.
And Bruce, what was yours?
Oh.
-1.
Okay.
I like go to try and get you under the table and you bang your head as
I like that a lot.
Sorry.
So yeah, Fearn, you see this creature
Like a plate on the table, it falls on my clothes.
looks past you and it starts walking towards Sass and Bruce instead.
Do I get an attack of opportunity?
You do.
I will take it.
Bruce, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
It's
Are you okay?
It's all right.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
Nothing a metal plate can't solve.
It's walking this way.
Oh God.
Yeah, you can see this thing walking around Fearn in his area of attack, and then like turns its back entirely to Fearn and starts walking towards you two as Fearn can go for your attack of opportunity.
Okay. Because it wasn't thinking I was a threat, is there any like advantage or anything like that?
No.
Okay. I got a 19, Tron.
That'll hit.
Awesome.
And that'll proc Jacquet's attack, because he was
That's
waiting
right.
for Fearn to attack. Can I safely assume I am hidden?
Yes.
Sneak attack. Woo.
14 bludgeoning damage, 7 thunder damage.
Okay, you see as you bring your hammer into this thing's back, you can hear a yelping howl come from it as it stops in its tracks. What was your attack roll?
26.
26 will hit.
For 20 magical piercing.
Does your
So
sneak
you
attack
watch-
damage like take on whatever damage your attack did?
Yep.
Cool.
Uh,
Should've done that.
Yeah, Miss Rogue. So the first attack, the swing of the hammer goes into its back. It yelps and reels in pain as a bolt goes right into its side. As it now does turn and look at you, Fearn, with new eyes. As it now actually looks to grow angry, as it looks to the amulet, and it will go for some attacks on you.
Sure.
All right.
What amulet is this?
It's the amulet that Estos gave him.
Right.
The one
He
that
said it would
Estos said
protect
would
me
help
from
protect
stuff.
him. It did for a second. First attack's gonna miss with a 12.
Okay.
Second attack with an 18 to hit.
That also misses.
Okay. And his last attack for a 27 to hit.
That'll hit.
All right. Wow. Fearn, that's going to be let's see, that's plus and then plus 5. 29 force damage. As you feel these sort of like concussive blows upon you, as each swipe deals like you feel the piercing of claws against you, but like there's a magical rending that happens where it's like you can see now that the claws of this wolf, this wizard werewolf, now glow with the blue of magic as it dug into you with that 29 damage. I rolled complete max damage on that.
Wow.
For all the dice. But that's its attack as it goes and swipes into you, Fearn, with this ferocious attack. These 3 swipes where 2 of them miss and the last one hits really hard. You almost get like the air knocked out of you as it pierces, punctures against your armor. All right, Bruce, you are up.
Looking next, like I imagine Bruce and Saskia are still underneath the table.
Yeah.
Bruce is gonna.
You feel pretty confident you're not hidden, though.
Yeah. Give Saskia a look like, do we move? And then Bruce is just gonna take out his little universal tool and then just go, and doesn't make that noise. But Ray of Frost.
Ray of Frost it. I need to grab a
Ray of
pen
Frost.
real quick.
Ray of Frostin'. 23, Sean. I'm assuming 23 hits.
What's the roll to hit?
23, and I rolled 6 damage.
Nice.
That is my turn.
Okay. All right, one moment. All right. Anything else, Bruce?
No, that's it.
All right, Fearn, you're up.
Okay, here I go. I'm gonna attack it.
Okay.
We're gonna go with a GWM.
GWM. Great weapon master.
The greatest weapon master.
Greatest weapon master. Excellent.
That's gonna be a 20 to hit, Sean.
As you go for an attack on this creature, you can see as your blade is swinging towards it, it smashes its claws into the ground, and a similar to you, an arcane shield appears up around it that your attack will not get through on. And I need you to give me a Constitution saving throw.
Mine doesn't do that.
Oh, yeah, well, you're not a astrology guild wolf wizard.
I got a 15.
Okay, so 15, you succeed. You don't take damage from the shield exploding out. And you're not pushed back by the shield exploding out. You notice that this shield is not like yours in the sense that it lasts until their next turn. It explodes out with the damage that you hit with. So but you were able to withstand the pressure of the force of the shield shattering out against you.
Okay, so the shield's no longer there.
Yeah.
So second attack, greater weapon mastery, and this time I'm going to use my bonus action for the grounded effect as well.
Okay.
You're so close to saying that right. Greater weapon master. Great weapon. Damn it. Great.
You said it wrong, Shannon.
I did say it wrong.
You can't say shit now.
All right, so shit. Does a 8 hit?
An 8 does not hit, Fearn. As I imagine,
Okay.
it's like this. You do notice though, it does seem like this creature does have like magical armor. Like when you hit, like it is almost as if it has a mage armor effect on it, as your blade strikes against sort of this magical pauldron on its shoulder that then sort of vanishes from sight as you hit it.
Okay, I am done.
Okay, so sorry, Sass, you're up with Septimus on deck.
Okay, so I'm going to hold an Eldritch Blast, so like the greenish light starts glowing around my hands as I'm preparing it. I will hold my hands out in front of me so I can see it. The werewolf can see it, but I will shout to it. And seeing that it had paused at Fearn for a moment, I don't think Saskia would understand why it paused, but it didn't attack at first, so that's what she's going off of. And she will say, contrary to what is happening right now, we really don't want to hurt you. We actually could use some help.
None of that. This thing's dangerous.
You don't know that. It
Yes.
walked around you.
That
Fionn.
shit hurt, man.
Yeah, but it walked around you. You antagonized it.
Sass, what do you do?
I'm holding the Eldritch Blast. I shot that
What is the
at
trigger?
it. If it lunges for me.
If it lunges for you?
For me.
Okay. All right. Septimus is up. If anyone would like to control Septimus. Or he could be sick in the hallway.
Blech.
No, never that.
Septimus will use a second level spell to summon spiritual weapon.
Okay.
To attack the creature.
Stefan's back in the cleric seat.
I was very looking forward to this. So that is going to be 8 plus 9 is 17 to hit.
That'll hit.
All right. 2 plus, what's his 5. 7 magical force damage.
Okay.
And then Sacred Flame for that dex saving throw, DC 17.
Let's see. That is 16 to save.
All right.
Does that pass?
That fails. So that's going to be
Alright.
8 radiant damage.
Love it.
As I imagine, Septimus is just like slumped in the doorway, like leaning against the frame, like staff clutched as he's just like throwing out these spells from there. And he's like, don't worry, guys, I'll help you this time.
Yeah. As he almost pukes. But no, yes, the massive smithing hammer comes out and strikes into this creature as the radiant energy burns around its fur and cloak, singeing it. Jacquette, you're up.
All right, Jacquette will.
Jacquette, I will say from your position, you can see that the other one is stirring at the commotion and will likely awaken on their next initiative count.
Yeah, so Jacquette will alert everyone, just like, I mean, everyone would have seen him after he made the attack, but just like getting up on a table, he's like, everyone, we've got another friend coming soon enough. As he will then take a bonus action to hide for 23.
Nice. You feel pretty confident in your hidiness.
Perfect. And then he is going to kind of sneak around a bit just to like position himself differently, more for flavor than anything.
Yeah.
And then make an attack with the crossbow on our friend for a dirty 20.
That'll hit.
Or not too bad. 26 magical piercing.
Ooh, nice. How do you want to do this?
So warning everyone and then ducking under the tables again, and more for his own sake really than anyone else's. He's like going through like table legs, like bobbing and weaving, and he's like, okay, let's do this. Pops up like behind a column, peeks out and just fires it, and it goes right through the throat. And like, I imagine it's facing Fionn, right?
Yep.
Well, I guess technically it's on the other side of Fionn.
It would be on the other side of Fionn now. Yeah.
So Fionn would just see a flash, and then there's just the end of a bolt out of its throat. As if he like looks back, he just sees Jacquette from like behind the column go, "Got your back."
I just give him a nod.
Okay. Anything else, Jacquette?
No. Thank you, though.
Okay.
I guess full cover from the other one. So, like, because you said there's columns throughout this space.
Yeah,
right?
there's like regular like columns like in a great hall.
Yeah, so he would duck behind one, keeping that column between him and the second werewolf.
Before it wakes up, so it doesn't see you. I'm surmising is what you're getting at. Okay. So, on the werewolf's turn, the second one does awaken. And it kind of goes into a bit of a rage as soon as it sees the other one has been killed. So you can see it starts to like thrash around and like smash tables all around it before it goes in this like lunge forward towards the group of you. It seems like its movement speed might be increased by this rage as it would rush towards Fearn. And it doesn't quite get up to you, Fearn. It's about 10 feet away from you.
Okay.
As it just, though, comes forward and just brings its claws up and then, like, smashes them into the ground. As you can see, some of the, like, the detritus of the ground and stone of the ground begins to kind of rise up, almost like there's a gravitational pull pulling it all up, forming into this large wave of debris. And then it brings its claws up and shoots it out in a cone towards Fearn, or in the general direction of Fearn. Which I actually think, based on its position, is not going to get Assassin Bruce, actually. Let me just check real quick. Yeah, it actually just narrowly misses you, Assassin Bruce, where you're hiding under the table. And thankfully, Septimus... Well, I
Up in the doorway.
I guess technically Septimus actually is going to get caught in this.
No, Sebby.
So, I need y'all to give me dexterity saving throws, Septimus and Fearn.
Dirty 20, Sean.
I'll make this save for.
Okay. You're going to take half damage then, Fearn.
Okay.
That's an 8 from Septimus, so.
They'll take full damage.
Sucks to be him.
Uh, 34 force damage to
Whoa.
Septimus, and then 17 force damage to you, Fearn. And Septimus is knocked prone.
Good.
As just sort of this detritus and force, gravitational force just flings across, ripping apart all the tables and papers and books scattered around, and just shatters the bookshelves in the back as you see a cascade, an avalanche of books all collapses down onto the ground, leaving these big piles of torn apart books. As the creature just looks you all with this these raging eyes that almost burn with a blue fire, like the magic of the claws of the last one. All right, Bruce, you're up. Fearn, you're on deck.
Okay.
All right, fastest turn ever. I'm gonna ray of frost this thing. 16, does that hit?
16 just hits.
All right, I'm shooting 4 damage, 4 cold damage. Turn is done.
I love it. Bruce is just like behind, like under the table, occasionally sticking his head out and just pew, pew, pew.
He's screaming while he does it too, though.
Yeah, right. All right.
And that high-pitched voice he's known to
You see, Declan, this is how you do it.
Yeah, right. Declan just gets it smacked in the face with a table. Fearn, you're up. This thing is 10 feet in front of you.
Okay, I move up. So if I take 5 feet of movement, that's gonna get me close. I'm just gonna walk up to it and. I can't do the grounded strike, but greater weapon fighting.
Great weapon master.
Wait.
GWM.
Actually, yeah, GWM. But I remember from last time that it wasn't really so on the first attack. So this time I'm just gonna do a regular first.
All right. First one's gonna be regular. Go for it.
11 to hit.
11 is not gonna hit.
Okay, second attack. I'm not doing GWM. 23 to hit.
That will hit, and it can't shield that. So go for it.
Nice. 14 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And 7 thunder damage.
Nice. Okay.
And that's the end of my turn.
Alrighty, that brings us to Saskia. Septimus is on deck.
All right. My first held action fizzles out because it was for the first one and he died. So I'll just like turn to the next one and just be like, oh, for fuck's sake. And just Eldritch Blast it from under the table.
Go for it.
First one is a 17.
That'll hit.
Ugh. 5 points of force damage.
Okay.
And the second one is another 17.
Okay.
For 6 points of force damage. I rolled a 1 and then a 2.
Okay.
Damage die.
Yeah, as this thing is engaged with Fear and just he's hit its shoulder as it's engaging with Fear and who has his maul out. Anything else, Sass?
Yeah, for my bonus action. How far away? Well, before I do that, how far away is the werewolf from me?
25 feet.
Great. I will summon another tentacle, and plant it next to it, and smack it across the face with it.
Go for it.
There we go. 27 to hit.
That'll hit.
And that'll be 13 points of cold damage. And I am staying right where I am underneath the table.
Okay.
That's my turn.
Alrighty. Septimus is up.
All right. Bonus action. Septimus will have his spirit weapon move to attack. For a 8 plus 9, 17 to hit.
That'll hit.
9 points of magical force. And then can I please get a Sacred Flame dex saving throw?
Got it.
Thanks.
It fails.
Oh. 8 radiant damage.
Nice. Alright, anything else?
That ends his turn.
Continues to get burnt up with this radiant magic. Jacquette, you are up.
Bonus action hide,
Mm-hmm.
if I may. For a 26.
That will hit.
No, I'm hiding.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, I was
It's okay.
looking something up. You feel confident you're hidden.
Cool. Then I'm gonna attack with advantage. Ooh, almost a nat 20. 28 to hit.
That'll hit. Yeah, for sure.
Thank you. Ooh, I'm rolling hot. That's 30 magical piercing damage.
Jesus, 30 magical piercing.
Yeah.
How do you kill this second one?
Oh, so it hasn't reached anyone yet. Right?
It's right up. Fear is engaged with
Okay.
it.
Oh, Fearin did engage with it. So again, but I guess this time now it is Jacques on the other side of this thing from Fearin. So all he sees is the head of the bolt come through its neck as it falls over, and just the camera zooms in on Jacques again, hiding behind a pillar, just like, don't worry, Jacques is here to help.
Well done.
But there doesn't seem to be any other of these creatures in here.
Fion's gonna double tap both of them.
I just imagine Fearin just like annoyed almost with it, just smashes one's head in with the club and then goes over to the other one, just like stomps it with his boot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're dead.
All right. We should probably keep moving.
Oh, you don't say.
Anyway,
Right.
Bruce just walks past. What?
Can we check their pockets first? Just in
Sure.
case.
Fearin, the next time
Sure.
there's something sleeping or it's just something that's not a threat, can you just leave it the fuck alone, please? I'm running out of spell slots. I'm running out of just energy, and I'm running out of fucking patience. All right, we need to get to the top of this thing. Just if it starts attacking, fucking go for it, but don't initiate. For the love of the ocean.
Look, I'm just trying to get us there. We have the same goal here. I'm just trying to get us there faster.
And I
If
get
we-
that.
If we wait for everything to jump at us, we're gonna be
It
hurt.
was gonna jump at us. You don't. We could have fucking snuck around it. But no, you had to go in and you had to smack it. Okay, just the next time, just please try it for the next one. If there's another room where something's in there, just wait. Please.
Fearin picks up one of the bodies that now has like a crushed head and lifts it up and holds it in front of her and says, "Does this look friendly to you?"
It's like pawing through the pockets, like, oh no, I'm not done with this one.
It went around you. Fearin, I don't know if you noticed that because you were too busy holding your sword up in its face, but it went around you.
Good. Next
Please
time I'll
use
just
some
let
more.
it attack you instead. That's fine.
No, I'm not saying let it attack. I'm just saying we could try talking to something in here. Maybe there's some spirits with some unfinished business or some shit. I don't know, but we don't. You were the one downstairs who fucking bopped the plant on the head, and it came for us, and it wakened everything up. We could have fucking snuck, okay? Maybe you couldn't have because you're so fucking loud. But can we just please?
Fine. You go ahead. We'll play it your way. And Fearon's just gonna, like, literally just go back to Septimus and be like, "Are you alright, buddy?" And, like, you know, basically take up the rear from here on out.
I look around at the other two.
All right, can we go now?
I mean, you're not wrong, but like, it's like yelling at a brick.
Yeah.
What's the point?
There's nothing that gets in that head.
Okay.
Even though technically his intelligence is higher than
You know what?
Yeah.
No, I know I'm fucking pissed at him, but you don't need to take a shot at his intelligence. No, let's
Using the
fucking go.
headband.
Come on.
Okay.
No,
right.
my
Okay,
point
I'm
was
sorry.
I'm
being
going.
that like he's not gonna listen to anything you say anyways.
He just fucking did.
Well, we'll see how long that lasts. Hey, God, anything in these pockets?
As you whisper, "Hey, God, anything in these pockets?" you will notice that the windows above turn a dull, dim blue color, as this room is then radiated in that blue glow, as the corpses of the werewolves begin to melt away and turn
Oh no, no!
to worms that crawl away. They melt in Jacquette's hand. So you're covered in worms for a moment before they all crawl away towards the pile of books.
Takes out the disc of cleaning or whatever. He's just like, no.
I think it's just a rock. It should just be a rock.
Oh, rock of cleaning. What?
Yeah.
Cleansing, excuse me.
If there is another metal disc with the feather on it.
Right. Yes.
So you might be combining the two.
But the place grows dim and foreboding, almost like when thunder comes with storm clouds. There's a voice echoes from the next chamber and beyond, deeper into the tower.
Intruders. Intruders.
Great.
You will be lost in these chambers for eternity until the rot consumes you as well.
That
Hey, how about what if we turned around and went in the tunnels?
Do we want to try
like
one more room? And
the
if that doesn't
tunnels aren't exactly going to be easy for the rest of us to get through.
work? Yeah.
And if anything attacks us while we're in those tunnels, we will be royally fucked.
Yeah, you're not wrong. All right. Just thinking like, okay, if they have eyes on us, they're looking for us. Where's an area where we could still move about the tower undetected, though?
Jacquet gestures the whole party to go back into the chamber or the staircase that Fjern and Septimus are in, and goes, "Okay, well, if we really want to consider this, let's think about it while we're not in a room."
Right.
The thing
stairs
might be
keep
able to
going
see
up?
us.
What stairs?
We're
The
standing on
stairwell that
stairs.
we came up originally.
It leads right into this chamber.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So we have to go through this somehow.
I'm not against the tunnels, but I really don't think that they are the best option, given that only you, Bruce, and Jacquet gestures to the golem-esque creature. I imagine that's like a few feet down the stairwell. That guy, only you two can get through, so.
Yeah. All right. I guess we just keep going. Targets on our backs.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
so.
Fionn's just like, he's in the back and he's like, you tell me.
You caused this, so
I stride forward and look for the next door.
Jacquet stealths forward, knowing where the next door is.
You will turn around to go into the next room where you just were, and it is once again a crystalline
Oh,
pool of water.
Okay, where are the tunnels? Let's go.
Yep. All right. Turn it around. Bring
Yeah,
it back.
I imagine Jacquet was like giving this, not speech, but being like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And then Sass is like, let's go. And Jacquet's like, yes. They both turn towards the entrance and then both about face and are like, tunnels.
So, Sean, is the room with the corpses in it is still there though, right? Or is it still
You
also
just see a crystalline pool of water that goes on for eons. You don't see the room.
so there's no we only see the two doors, like the one ahead of us that
You don't
leads
see
to another
anything
crystalline
ahead
pool?
of you except these
Okay,
crystalline
it's just
pools.
pools. Okay.
Yeah, as if when you all left the space, and as that blue light inundated the room, it returned
okay.
to an illusory chamber.
I start going down the stairs.
Dang wizard towers. Only read about them.
So you're going back to the rooted tunnels?
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, Declan.
Oh,
Yeah, looks like we're gonna go down the tunnels.
you can't get through?
There's a lot of illusory magic. It'd probably be better if we go through the tunnels. But the tunnels, do they take us up the tower?
Oh, they take us to where the food is.
And where
I
is
think
the
it
food?
goes up.
Where's
Alright.
the food? What kind? What kind of food? What is it that you eat?
Old mush.
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 Oh,
Mush.
all right.
Tasty mush.
Does the mush move?
Okay.
Move? No. No, mush in pots.
All right, Declan, I got a treat for you. Literally. And he hands him a lollipop.
Oh.
Unwrap it here, stick it in your mouth, and go ahead and lead us.
Bites
Enjoy
it
that
immediately.
one.
1.
Yeah, just crack it now.
3.
Because we're going to be sneaking through these walls or tunnels.
This way. And he starts running back to his chamber.
All right.
I give Fearn a glance before following.
Great, let's follow the child. This is a great. I'm loving this.
He's a teenager.
Excuse you.
In kobold
Yeah, he
years,
doesn't
he's a
live with
grown
his
man.
mother anymore.
He doesn't live with it. Yeah, he's got this. You're in his bachelor pad. You get back to his area and you can find the opening in the roots. Like Jacquet predicted, it is definitely something that's gonna be tight for the medium creatures to crawl through. But you find yourselves squeezing into it. It's the kind of thing where you might need to, like Fearn especially, might need to exhale a little bit to squeeze through certain parts. It's very claustrophobic. But it's oddly illuminated because of the roots of the blessed wort growing here. And you find yourselves at certain points, like it's not just that you need to like climb in here a little bit. Like it does seem to start going upwards.
Good.
And eventually Bruce, you see ahead of you, you see Declan scurries out and is no longer ahead of you. You can see it's an opening into a chamber.
All right, bye.
You see
What do I see?
shelves after shelves all over as you're clearly in a storage room where he is eating just sort of the liquefied remains of food that was in some of these pots.
Oh, jeez, Declan.
So like it's certainly like fermented fruits and just like grains that have all just sort of combined into mush.
Got it.
You can try some.
Go.
Give me a Constitution saving throw, Fearn.
24.
Fearn, you can tell you shouldn't have eaten this. But you don't suffer any negative side effects of it. It has this really acrid taste to it that is sort of like a sickly sweet mingled with this blue cheese-esque vibes.
Like the just moldy.
It's mold and sugar is what you're eating.
Fearn snorts really loudly, like he just air through his nose, spits on the ground, and he says, "Tangy."
That's disgusting.
You can see several of these like pots are emptied and cascaded on the ground.
All right. Is that the end of the tunnel, Declan?
Oh, is this where I go? And you look around and you can see there is a door though. Like you're in a storage area, like a cupboard almost. Like that a walk-in pantry, essentially.
I'd like to go to the door and then just kind of see what I could see on the other side.
Yeah, so you see that it goes into a larger chamber with long dining tables in it.
Got it. Look over at Jacquet. It seems to be some sort of dining room. Do either one of you want to scoot ahead?
I don't know where to put this on my map.
The space doesn't make sense anymore as you're going through it.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, sounds good. And Jacquet saunters over to the door and slinks out.
So Jacques, you open the door? Step through?
Yes.
Okay. Are you going ahead or does people follow you?
I imagine
I'm asking
we
everyone, I guess.
let Jacquet go first. And then
Jacquet, as soon as you open the door, from what all you could tell, there was no light bleeding through this door underneath it at the seams. But Jacquet, as soon as you open it, you see a rich fire. And you see a room that's small, It looks like a smoking room, like a lounge. It almost reminds you of the smoking lounge that you were in at the party at the academy. Furnished with plush couches with red velvet. The air is thick with smoke. A fireplace burns with a bright fire. There's a thick rug which sits at the foot of a plush chair with its back to you. Smoke curls unnaturally from just beyond the chair and around a trolley cart next to it. It has various bottles on it. The only door appears to be the one you came through. Across the room, a little ways away from the rug, is a small circle on the floor.
Circle looks magical.
It
Like,
looks like it has
arcane?
like it's divoted, like almost like it like it's carved rivulets in the stone floor.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Is there a way? So you described this chair that has its back turned to me, and there's smoke curling up from it.
Mhm.
That might indicate there's a creature or something smoking in it. Is there a way to basically like stealth around the side of the room to get a better look at whatever might be sitting in this chair?
If you go along the right side of the room, yes, you could, with enough stealth, get a peek at the creature.
Okay. And Jacques will, like, looking back to the others, like, motion, like, hold on a second, and then he'll go in stealth.
Give me a new stealth roll for this.
21.
You just beat the DC for this. So as you're going around Jacques, perhaps the room thick with the smoke, you peek around and you can see a clawed hand covered in fur holding onto a pipe that the smoke is coming from. They don't have the heavy cloak of the wolves in the previous chamber. And this creature does not seem as rotted as the others, although its skin and fur seem pocked with the rot sickness. It does have these ornate clothes on that do indicate somewhat that it's likely a part of the wizards that were here. Up to its head where you can see these really sharp fangs, sort of just like, the best way you could put it, even though a wolf's muzzle doesn't really show this, it has like a smile on its face and a glint in its eyes that is reflecting off the fire. And it has this top hat on the top of its head that has the similar red color of Estos's wizard hat. You notice, though, that this creature has shackles on its wrists that seem to connect to nothing, like ethereal.
So I imagine Jacques has his crossbow out as he's sneaking around and raising it, and then seeing those shackles. Must be lonely, smoking all by yourself.
The creature, you hear it stir and see that muzzle turns quickly to its right, noticing you.
Have you come to provide a little entertainment for me?
Usually I charge for that, but your case is so sad, I might just be willing to do a charity case.
The magics that bind me here require a riddle.
So did you say a riddle binds you here?
Yes, unfortunately. Wizards have their unique ways of punishing individuals.
Okay, and at this, Jacques kind of like motions to the door for the others to join him.
Do you all join?
Yeah.
Yep.
The door behind you slams shut
Nah, damn it.
and vanishes.
Can I still see it there? Is it like just illusion, or is it like?
No, it's gone.
Oh,
Oh, shit.
oh.
I'm bound to speak only certain words.
And he gestures to the trolley cart next to him where you can see the various bottles.
I'm so excited.
I give mirth and merriment. They say I smell quite old, but I can turn a timid man into one that is quite bold. Rich or poor, all laid low, sweet and heady, all reactions slow. Pressed, fermented, filtered, and bottled, I will help you escape this room. Pour liberally, complete the circle, and hope it is I you have found. Beware the others.
So it's alcohol, right?
And you see,
Like-
though, a trolley filled with various alcohols. You see a bottle of vodka. You see what looks like beer, some Aldhalor rum,
Mhm.
a few bottles of wine.
Could we maybe get that riddle in chat?
Yes, please. So we're looking for one to pour into the circle that satisfies all of this,
But which one is correct?
Well, you said you can't say much, but can you move?
Shing! Pulls his arm up as the chains restrict him.
Can you point to the one that's correct?
You think these wizards dull?
I mean, perhaps this seems like a pretty stupid way to stop us from finding them.
Oh, this is not about finding them.
What boozes are on the?
There's basically every kind of alcohol you can think of on here. There's whiskey, there's rum, there's beer, there's wine, there's mead, there's vodka.
So it's sweet, pressed and fermented, a little bit heady too. So maybe mead, maybe wine. What are we thinking?
It's got to smell old, so it would probably be something that's
Smells
aged.
old.
Mm.
Maybe it's just vinegar.
How many bottles of wine are there?
There are 3.
Do they have anything on the label?
Not particularly. They're aged. They're old looking. The labels on all of them are pretty much indecipherable. You're basically looking them up and smelling them and identifying, oh, this is wine, this is rum, this is whiskey. Amongst all of you, there's enough tastes to identify the standard alcohols here.
I think it's a wine, but I don't know how to tell which one.
What
Finn?
makes you think it is of the vineyard?
The words pressed and fermented. Makes me
Mm.
think of grapes. That's what you do with
Oh,
wine.
you must press the sugar cane. You must press the grains to mulch.
Can I inspect the circle?
Yep. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Hey, Bruce, you should probably do this, and I'll give you advantage. How's that?
That's a great idea. 27.
I helped.
And you're just investigating it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is the small circle is outlined on the floor, a ways from the rug and the chair and the fire. It contains deep channels and rings around a central symbol that is sort of this diamond-like shape, and it's very clear that these rivulets lead into the symbol at the middle, as if something should be poured into it.
Does the circle look like a teleportation circle of some kind?
You can't know for certain, but like, sort of. Yeah,
Okay.
that's a circle with sigils on it. And there's no doors in this room.
Right.
What could it do?
Right.
But then it also may do other things. It might unlock his chains. It might remove illusions. It is clearly something that will affect, upon being activated, will have an effect.
All right, yeah. Timothy Chalamet is prepping for this moment.
Yes, Timothy Chalamet says, anytime you walk into a room and you see anything circular, you best believe it will do a magic thing. I am Timothy Chalamet, Duke of Arrakis.
And I approve this message.
I mean, if we pour wine in the middle, like,
Wait,
what's the worst that will happen?
There's 3 of them, though. It has to be the right one.
Well, there's lots of bottles of things. It's not gonna. He said that it could be any of the alcohol, not just the wines.
Correct.
I don't see anything in the. I don't understand any of the what could be a distinguishing characteristic. Can I start smelling them?
Yeah.
I'm looking for an old smell, Sean.
Yeah, I mean, you're able to discern that. Oops. Give me a investigation check or a perception check.
We're gonna do perception. 12.
They all smell pretty much like a red wine. To you, at least. Some of them may be a bit more bitter smelling or pungent to you, but Sass is not a sommelier with that 12.
Yeah.
I have an idea, but I don't know if I should share it.
Yeah, don't share it. That's fine.
Oh.
Okay. Sounds good.
I mean, if he's gonna be a dick, I'm gonna treat him like a dick. I don't know what you want from me.
How am I the dick here?
You literally said, I have an idea, but I don't know if I should share it.
You
That
literally-
implies passive aggressiveness. In which case, I am the one that is passive aggressive here, not you.
You
Don't
guys
steal
are
my
the ones who
thunder.
are actually aggressive towards me.
Says the guy who literally attacked a sleeping fucking.
He was not sleeping.
Protect.
To protect you
The
guys.
man is mugging you in the back of your car. He's got a gun.
gun.
He's mugging you. He's asleep.
You hear the wolf mage laugh at your pettiness amongst each other.
It is petty as the wizards who locked me here. All of these, other than some, have been aged and are old. Their color comes from the age. Some sugarcane pressed, grapes pressed. What would you choose?
I know that we probably can't ask you questions, about like larger things, but you say the wizards locked you here, but you wear the same garb as them, don't you?
Astute eyes. Have you not ever seen brother lock up brother?
Oh, sure, all the time, but you talk about it as if it's them and you, when it's just you all.
It does not change my sentence.
Yeah, that's fair. Sass, what'd you say? Wine? Sure, that sounds good to me. And Jacques is just gonna saunter over, pick one of the wines at random, and then like hold it over the circle just to the point of tipping, so it's not falling out yet. And he's looking to see if anyone wants to stop him before he just dumps this.
Nope.
Glug glug
Go
glug
for it.
glug 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 glug.
The wine pours out, and it just sort of almost moves unnaturally. It doesn't pour like you're just pouring a wine bottle out. It moves to the rivulets and fills the outer circle, and then goes to each inner circle before filling the diamond in the center.
While he's doing this, he goes, "So, Fearon, what were you gonna suggest?"
I was gonna take all of them, pour them together, and then pour it in.
Huh.
That way, if we get it wrong, at least one. It's gotta. Bad things are gonna happen, but good thing will happen too.
As you do so, the light of it glows with this very pretty purple glow, as if light is being shown through the wine itself to highlight the whole circle. Those of you standing next to the wolf mage would notice he's growing irritated.
Did he pick the right one? Is that why you're
Oh,
pissed off?
mages.
His chains don't unlock, but a purple light appears over the circle.
I imagine Bruce is just fascinated by the circle. He's just kind of watching it and being like, "All right, what's it doing? Is it working? What kind of
Is it
magic
working,
Bruce, you actually looking at it, it worked. Whatever happened worked, and it has created this pillar of magenta light on it.
Good job.
The wine worked.
That was all Saskia. I just executed it.
I'm gonna take like a random book and
Mhm.
just throw it in the middle. See what it does.
Disappears, as if it's
All
teleported
right.
somewhere.
It's a teleportation circle.
Perfect.
What
But
about
before
that
we
guy
go,
over
my friend.
Yeah.
Would you like a job?
What can we call you?
Orias.
Orias. Did you happen to be a treasure hunter extraordinaire? Orias, my friend. If you don't mind sharing your story with us, it seems that the wizards lied about your predicament. But maybe you can shed some truth so that we may go on and tell your tale.
Wizards don't lie. I am incapable of speaking certain utterances. Their paltry, simple riddle.
Anyone who wants to give an insight check for that statement can do so, as he specifically gets angrily calls their riddle simplistic and paltry.
14.
Same.
22. Sorry, yeah, 22.
It's not exactly clear what he means by this, and you can tell he is clearly through very, very esoteric magic, incapable of saying what he wants outright. He can only allude to things, which you might surmise why he was trying to say different things with the alcohols, where he was saying to confuse you, say, "Oh, a lot of them are pressed, a lot of them are aged."
It worked. I definitely doubted myself.
so with the 14s, you can get that he like the riddle is not something that he didn't want you to open the portal. And it's almost fear, and you with a slightly higher figure, like he wanted a different liquor or alcohol poured on this.
You didn't want us to solve it. Why?
I imagine if we failed, he would probably be unbound. Is that correct?
I cannot utter such things.
Sounds like he's forbidden from telling us how to unlock his chains.
Do you want to be here for the rest of your life?
I can't utter such things.
Sounds like he wants to be free, but I don't know how we're gonna do that without, screwing up the ritual and, ruining our chances of escape.
So we don't
Can
know.
you
Sorry, go ahead.
maybe tell us more about the wizards that used to call this place home?
The astrologists once called this tower home. Their focus was on esoteric magics, lost knowledge, and forgotten forces. They believed the answer to the future was in the past, and could find terrible new treasures and powers. They saw the rising power in the west.
You mean Halcyon?
The auguries of Kiranor.
Bruce, you would know that to be one of the leading houses of Halcyon, or often called the auguries. And you can surmise that the mages here saw themselves as competitors to the magic of Halcyon. And specifically, though, they seem to be going against the Halcyon sort of like onward, brightly, into the future, forget the past. They were like, no, there are dark and terrible secrets in the past that must be uncovered to open the future.
So was their discovery of the Forgotten Twins.
Twins? Do you mean...
Insert the names here of those brothers.
the
Pescos,
circles?
Pescos and Ledan.
Yes, Pescos and Ledan?
Yes, or so the names found in the old text. Forgotten temples, forgotten knowledge of those who come before.
And these forgotten twins, the knowledge your once brothers learned from them, is that responsible for this creeping rot?
Not responsible. Hypothesis. Posed answer. Solution. No, the creeping rot is from the north. This was meant to stop it. And they ran out of time. And favored the light of Pescos, and forgot the dark of Ledan. Hence my seat. Fire.
as he brings his hand up to smoke the pipe, and it can't get close enough. He's not allowed to smoke his pipe.
Don't worry, if you tried, I would have knocked that out of your hand.
You cannot imbibe or enjoy any aspect other than eternity here.
And why exactly are you locked up this way?
I cannot utter it.
Okay. And the whole werewolf thing, is that like normal for you astrologers, or is that like...
It was an happenstance in the research.
If you were free, what would be the first thing you would do?
You cannot utter this. Poultry, simplistic riddles.
Well, I'm kind of satisfied. Oh, no, sorry. You said this lycanthropy came from the knowledge. Did that have to do with the darkness of Ledon? Or the light of Pescos?
The lycanthropies of Pescos.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
It is not exactly as you would think. Oh, but I cannot make myself clear with chains rattling so loudly.
Are these chains, I know they're magic, Sean, but like, do they look like old or like fragile? Like, would it be something that could be like physically destroyed?
They do not seem like they could be physically destroyed. They're more ethereal.
Bruce goes and grabs a bottle of the whiskey and he puts it in his hand. Well, if you're here for eternity, at least enjoy one of these days.
If you're gonna pour that on the circle,
and pulls the chain, his wrist, and the chain stops him from being able to drink it.
You can't move your head a little bit.
You misunderstand the evil of wizards.
And you get the general vibe that like this is not a logical trap he's in. Like you're not like he's not like here's the 4 rules you can't do. He is mired in like esoteric, confusing magic that doesn't even like the kind of magic that someone's like, I don't exactly know how this magic works. I'm just putting you in it. That is not like one might say are the raw mechanics of Dungeons and Dragons. It is very specific him and his experience.
Well, I'm gonna take your booze. I don't know if you're gonna be using it. I'll leave you 1 bottle of wine in case somebody else comes back. But so Bruce goes to the rack and he starts putting some of the booze in his bag of holding.
Kobold after my own heart.
can we do
Speaking
something
of-
to help this guy so we can actually get proper information out of him?
Do we want to help this guy, Fjern?
I mean, we could just go through the teleportation circle.
I thought we were trying to be non-violent people, and try and get information or whatever.
I think we just got a decent amount, and without knowing what freeing this individual, the consequences of that, I'm happy with where we're at.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go in the circle first. It should be fine.
Saskia, any thoughts?
I think we should just move on.
All right. And Bruce steps into the circle.
Okay. Bruce, you step into the circle and Bruce disappears. All of you hear loud clanging as all of the bottles return to the trolley cart.
No!
I'll follow Bruce.
I think the wizards didn't think of that, Bruce.
Damn it. Damn it.
Bruce, that's Bruce's whole life, continuously underestimating wizards.
Yeah.
Because they're not
I'll
as
get-
logical as artificers.
Yeah.
They're not. They get this esoteric fucking bullshit, guy.
And these seem like particularly esoteric wizards.
Giving a little bow, Jacques goes, Orias, it was lovely to meet you, and good luck. And he turns around and walks into the portal.
And as the last person, I guess, unless the kobold guy the kid is with me, teenager.
He
Sorry.
would have followed Bruce.
I look at Arias and say, "My name is White Eye. I'm not sure why you're trapped here, and I don't know for how long. But it seems that you're in quite a predicament. I'll see what I can do to get my friends to convince them to set you free once we've managed all the chaos that's happening in this tower. Hopefully, once we get to the top, we'll be able to find a way to free you."
The wizards seem to have thought of everything to keep me here. But I appreciate this, White Eye.
Good luck. And I just go through the portal.
You all would appear in a new chamber. That looks like a vestibule, a large vestibule with about 50 feet up in an arch, and behind you see two massive double gates. On the other side of those double gates, you just hear the sound of something vast and large behind you, as if you are currently on the other side of the front doors of the lighthouse tower. And behind you is whatever you would have had to get through if you followed your original plan.
Oh.
And in front of you is a large open receiving hall, circular, with a set of stairs at the back that goes up into a hallway you can't see the contents of. It goes up very high, like a good 150 feet up, as you can see these old tattered blue banners hang from this massive ceiling. And when I say old, like banners everywhere, it's you look to the ceiling, you can't see the ceiling, you just see innumerable of these banners of the astrologers hanging there with constellations faded upon them. As you can see, sort of a starry mist amongst them. As you can see in the center of this circular chamber is a small pillar that is made of gold metal in like a very like fluid shape coming up that then has a socket for a astrologer's disc. But you are you are in the true Great Hall entrance of the lighthouse now. You're no longer beneath it in any capacity.
How far away is that?
It's I would say it's 60 feet away.
Okay.
And the little vestibule you're in is about 20 feet long hallway.
Okay.
It then opens into the circular receiving chamber.
Got it. Okay.
That you can surmise, since that's in the middle, is 60-foot diameter.
All right. I probably can't see it yet, so.
So Jacques, turning to the others, goes, well, if what the gods said was true, these discs that Norland gave us, one of them maybe goes into that plinth or whatever.
Yeah, that's a good assumption. I don't know what it looks like over there. I just got to get a little closer.
Let's walk. And we walk closer.
Yep. As you step into the hall, you hear your foot's echo, but there doesn't seem to be anything. You don't see any movements or shifts. There's just sort of this light sound of material against material as the above chamber begins to, or not begins to, is just, you could hear the cloth of the banners hitting each other with the stale air in here. You get closer to it. Bruce, you can now see the small pillar of gold and filigree that has the slot for an astrologer's disc.
All right. I mean, we don't have. Do we have this?
Septimus
Yes.
coughs and pulls
Okay.
out his little bag of stuff
Hey.
from Norland, where there are 3 astrologer's discs in there.
Okay. All right. I was like, I don't remember who has have it. All right. Yeah. Let's try it out. Bruce takes one of the discs from Septimus and make sure it's the right way. You know, label facing up. It says
Yeah.
astrologer's disc in Sharpie.
Is that side A or side B? I heard B
Oh,
tracks
right.
are usually actually the better ones.
Oh. Yeah. We'll put in the B track.
Generally, these astrologer's discs do look like they have sockets. Like when you hold out the full set of 3, they are like socketed together to create a specific array across their face that you imagine is utilized within the astrology of these mages. When you take when you take them apart, they all have their own individual face. And when they lock together, there's like mechanisms that change the face. So it affects what circles are open upon it and what are closed, so that you can use them to look through the stars in various ways, depending on how many of them are together or if they're individual.
Okay. So what happens when we put one of them in?
So if you put one in, it would lock in to this astrology plinth, and then you would see fluid gold almost pours out to shape various circles. That then from above, the banners start to, as that starry mist descends, and then it's just sort of, and the ground is replaced with a pool of water, and there are stars all up above and around you.
Oh, no, not this room
If-
again.
More discernible constellations.
Ah.
As someone who has spent time on the sea, would I have knowledge of reading stars to navigate?
Yes. You
Can I
did it to
make
get
any
here when
sense?
you and Jacques and
something.
Fjern were abandoned. Well, stranded.
That's right.
Not abandoned.
Stranded.
Left
Well,
to die.
yeah. Sometimes
Mutated.
called abandoned.
Can I
Could
make
I-
any sense of the stars above?
I would say
Could I help
give
her
me
with my nature knowledge?
Yeah. Sass, you can
Cool.
do a navigator's tool check.
Okay.
Which I'll say is a intelligence check, but you can add your proficiency bonus to it because you are proficient.
15.
These stars just don't look quite right. Like they don't look like how the sky is supposed to look. Like they're not in the right places.
This is not like a sky that I've seen. This is strange. The stars aren't in the right places.
What if we put all the discs in together like Norland had given us?
Yeah. Let's try that out. So Bruce takes it out and orients them in the correct manner, and then tries to put them in.
The stars move up above, and then Sass, you can see the appropriate night sky.
Ah.
Oh, that's better. That's right. That's it. Okay.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Hopefully we don't need the discs anymore. Why would there be 3?
I think
We were to use them all at once.
each one has like a different or show different stars. Or
When the discs are in, Bruce, you wouldn't notice this, but the rest of you across on the other side, unlike the previous chamber, like you don't see an endlessness. The pool is filling the 60-foot diameter circle. The stairs are still on the other side, where you can't see where
Of
they
the
lead
water?
to. Yeah.
Well, maybe we're to leave these discs down here, and that opens the way up the staircase. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. It may have unlocked something up ahead.
I can sneak ahead if you all want.
Yep.
And
That'd
actually,
be a
and
good idea.
remembering that he has this item, he takes out the horn of silent alarm, and he'll go, one, that it's all good and you guys can come up. 2, if I'm coming back down. And 3, if there's trouble. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Okay.
And Jacquet will skulk up the stairs.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a stealth check.
27.
Nice. You wander up the stairs, and you can see there, like those. The starry mist is like inundating the chamber, so you're like walking through this mist, and like as you're walking through, you can see like these little tiny diamond-like stars get displaced with your movements. You get to the top of the stairs, and you can see there are these banners hanging from the walls, outstretched to the ground. These banners are all of violet in color, and you see a door between these flowing banners. This the top of the stairs leads to a very small cube-shaped room,
Okay.
and there's just the walls are covered in the violet banners, and then there is a door opposite the stairs on the far end of the cube.
How big's this cube space?
30 by 30.
Okay. All right. Jacquet's gonna quickly go check that door, see if it's unlocked.
It is unlocked. When you open it up, you look inside. It is what looks like a study, a small, like an office, a study that is in complete disarray. There's a chair on its side in front of a desk. The desk has items knocked all over it, an inkwell with its contents spilled over some papers, little figurines lying on their sides on the floor and surfaces, a bookshelf empty, its books strewn asunder on the floor, a large oblong shape covered with a cloth against the far wall.
Jacquet will blow the horn once, identifying his companions, and then as they come up, he will start to search through this room.
So the rest of you follow up there?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then probably join him in the search.
I'd like to look at the banners outside, see if there's anything worth noting.
Give me an investigation check.
18.
There's a faded sigil on the banners. It's kind of hard to make out, but it looks as though it has some what looks like bottles, like potions almost. It's like a symbol for potions.
Okay.
And then do you join them in the room? Door closes and disappears behind you.
Oh, I should have seen that coming.
When you look to any figurines or notes here, everything is nondescript. The ink has blotted out all writing on the paper on the desk.
Is there anything to write with around? Like
the ink there's a quill next to the spilled inkwell.
Yeah. just on a whim, can I pick up the pen and like dip it in the ink and write on a an area of the paper that doesn't have ink on it that just says help us?
Sure.
Anything happen?
You write help us on a piece of paper.
Cool.
Looking around this space, so it's in disarray. Nothing on here is distinct, as in like the writing is illegible. The figurines, like, they don't appear to be anything.
Yeah, like you see vague shapes of animals, vague shapes of people. I mean, when you look closer, they might be like a chess set that spilled over, but it's not like they have like fine detail to them.
So the room is in disarray, but is there like anything in particular that's out of place, out of order? Something that doesn't make sense lined up?
Nope. There's tables strewn about, the figurines on the ground, bookshelf emptied of its books on the ground, a large oblong shape covered with a cloth against the far wall.
Cloth. What's behind the cloth?
You pull the cloth off.
Is it a telescope?
It's a mirror. If you look in the mirror, you can't see your reflection in it.
Yeah, well, Bruce
is a vampire.
Actually, Bruce, I guess you don't know what the fuck this is. Actually, I mean, you know what a mirror is, but you're like, well, this is useless for me.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. And then just like walks away from it.
But you would all see him pull it aside, and there'd be a mirror there.
Huh.
If you look into the mirror, you don't see a reflection. You see an image of this room, perfectly arranged.
I immediately start putting things back the way that they are in the mirror.
Are you kidding me? Is this fucking riddle? They got us to clean up their fucking place after they're all dead?
Just put these books back on the shelf. Just do it. Just see what happens.
He starts tossing them haphazardly.
No, Jacques, it has to match exactly as it is in the mirror. Come on.
Oh, fine details like this are not my strong suit.
I will not be able to help with this, unfortunately. Bruce like takes off his goggles,
Bruce,
looks in the mirror.
Just keep your feet on. Keep your feet on the ground and let us know if something shifts.
Aaron's just picking up all the books and stacking them in a huge, like, tall tower and handing them to Jaquette as he puts them in order.
No, that one has to go to the right of it, Jaquette. Come on, it has to look exactly like it is in the mirror to be a perfect reflection. And
if it's a perfect reflection, shouldn't it all be the opposite then?
That's what I fucking said. And I continue and I go back and start like shuffling papers and closing writing the chairs and putting the papers back the right way and everything.
Okay. Yeah, as you look into the mirror that Bruce took the cloth off of, it does reflect a perfectly ordered room. You start to put everything up. You keep checking the mirror. You just look. Yes.
Does the mirror have a door in it?
The mirror does have a door in it. Do you just look into the mirror and start copying it?
That's what Sass is doing. Just trying to match the picture in the mirror.
Fionn is gonna see the door in the mirror and just go to where that door is in our room.
Stone wall.
I reach out to where a doorknob would be.
You touch nothing, and then feel the stone against the back of your knuckles.
I'm gonna go back to the mirror,
and
then just like poke it, stick my hand through it.
That was my next theory.
Bruce, you poke it. and anyone looking sees a Bruce appear in the mirror. And then your Bruce disappears.
Oh, fuck.
Bruce, you open your eyes, and you are in a perfectly ordered room on the other side. You all
Hey, where'd
see
everybody go?
Bruce inside the mirror. Bruce, you can't see your friends.
Oh no.
Yeah, where'd
going
everybody
on?
go?
Come,
Where'd Bruce go?
he fucking touched the mirror. I really want to see if this works. Put it back the right way. Maybe Bruce will come back. Maybe it'll spit him back out. Or maybe once this reflects a perfectly ordered room, it'll turn this room into that room and Bruce will come back.
Why don't we all just go into that room? There's a door.
But then what if we're stuck in the mirror and we're just constantly going through the mirror, like mirror doors?
I don't know. I'm getting kind of bored doing this, to be honest, as Jacques is like still like just putting up book after book. This is not fun.
It's not meant to be fun.
No, fighting bad guys, that's fun. Werewolf things, ooh, that was a blast. Oh, that was really fun.
Wasn't it?
So Bruce is in the mirror. You guys are continuing to make it ordered in this room. Bruce, what do you do?
I was kind of hoping Bruce would come back through the mirror.
Bruce, as far as you concerned, nothing changed for you except your friends disappeared.
Right.
Because your tremor sense just shows you a ordered room, and all your friends disappeared.
Guys.
You guys can't hear Bruce. You can just see him in the mirror.
Bruce is just like walking around the room. Like,
yeah.
Where'd you guys go? Hey. He's gonna like try to message. Hey. Hello.
The message does get through.
Who are you messaging?
Probably Saskia. Hey, where are you guys?
You're in the fucking mirror. We're still on the other side.
I'm in the. Wait, what?
You fucking went through the mirror.
Oh. How did I go through?
Are you okay?
None of you.
Are you alright? Is there anything wrong?
No, I'm perfectly fine. This room looks a little neater.
Bruce, can you go over to the door and see if you can sense anything beyond it?
Sure. Bruce does that.
You go to the door in there?
Yeah.
And what do you do when you're in there? Do you just open the door?
As per Saskia's instruction, I see what's beyond it.
You can't see beyond it.
I'm gonna message Saskia again. I'm gonna try to open it.
Wait.
Yeah.
I don't want you to do that by yourself.
That's a good idea.
I will turn to the other two. Keep putting the books back, and I will go through the mirror.
I don't like this job.
Assassin, when you touch the mirror, nothing happens.
Wait, no. Bruce is... What the fuck?
Bruce, open the door.
You can't hear that.
Yeah.
Tell him to open the door.
I can't... He has to message me again. I can't.
Is there a different mirror in the room or something reflective, Sean?
No.
Damn.
I keep putting things away frantically now.
How that piece of paper that Saskia wrote, help us.
Yeah.
That's not on the desk, is it?
There is paper on there.
What happens if I write something?
Ooh, I see where your brain's going with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
You write it on. You write down. What do you write down?
I wrote down, hey, this is Bruce. And that's it.
A piece of paper in the ordered side now says, hey, this is Bruce.
And then I'm message Saskia. Hey, I check the desk. See if you see a piece of parchment that says, "Hey, it's Bruce."
All right, I just tried to come through the mirror and it didn't let me go through.
Oh.
Okay,
Oh,
I go check.
no.
I go check the desk.
It says whatever you wrote down on that
Help
piece of
us.
paper. Help
Help
us. It
us.
says help us. And it's covered in
Okay.
ink.
No. Before the
All right.
spell ends.
Ah.
How close are we to matching the perfect order of?
Jacquet puts the last book in, and nothing happens.
Touch the mirror again.
Nothing happens.
God damn it.
We have to write, guys. We got it right. We just got to write "Hey, it's paper" to match it, and erase everything else.
Strides up to the mirror.
I'm sorry, I do say, Sass, when you do write the desk, if you're trying to make it look exactly the same, the ink does start to extract from the paper and magically refill in the vial. But it still says help, or whatever you wrote on the piece of paper.
Whatever I wrote. Yeah. Okay.
Jacquet strides up to the mirror and like pushes his hand up against it.
Nothing happens.
God damn it! He's gonna take out a dagger and like wrap it on the mirror.
Cling, 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 cling.
I can help with that.
Ash.
No!
I mean, attack roll.
No!
He's
Bruce
getting
is in
pissed
there.
off.
Bruce just dies.
25.
What was it?
25.
Yeah, that'll hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
All right,
The mirror is
so he's
surprised. You get sneak attack now.
So he's using the dagger of lightning return, so that's 6 piercing. Though, if you'll allow me, since I was using the butt of it,
Sure.
thanks. Bludgeoning and then 4 lightning.
There's one small imperfection that forms, like a little chip, but the mirror does not break. You have caused superficial damage to it.
Fuck this. Fuck everything. Ah. And Jacquet's gonna go up to where the door used to be and is like hitting around with his dagger, trying to see if it's like hollow or something, and like trying to find if there's any loose bricks or something.
Yeah, as
Right.
Jacquet's just losing his fucking mind here. Perhaps the purpose of this room, designed to make Jacquet lose his mind.
Is the mirror like mounted to the wall?
No, it's almost on a swivel.
Really,
it's like leaning against the wall.
Can I pick it up and move it and put it flat on the ground so it's reflecting the constellations?
There's no constellations in this room. The ceiling is just stone.
Okay.
But if
I
you lay
pick it up and I move it around and I'm like holding it with it in front of me.
Yeah, and it literally
like
just sort
exposing.
of shows a mirror of whatever. Like, it's trippy actually looking at it. It just shows the other room, but you're moving the perspective of what you see in the mirror.
So I'm going to basically just scan the whole room so I know that
So
And
you cut
then-
out at the end there, so that everything's the same.
so everything's the same. Yes. You know, just so I can make sure there's nothing we missed.
Okay. While you're
And
doing that, or go ahead, go finish your thought.
Yeah, I was gonna say, eventually I'm going to get to where Bruce is in the mirror,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to try and push the mirror into the space in my world where Bruce would be in his world.
Bruce, what are you doing while they're losing their minds?
Bruce is checking out the desk. He's like, "What's in here? Is there anything interesting in here?"
Bruce, oh my god. This couldn't be better. For what ended up on the other fucking side of this mirror. Bruce, you're opening it up and you can see that there's like some of the stuff that was spilled out in the previous room is just like sitting neatly inside the desk.
It's like any like sort of writing, you know.
No.
Is there anything interesting?
This is
No?
the least interesting space you've ever seen. It looks like some poor fuck's office in his house. Even if you were to go open any of the books, and those of you stacking the books, they're empty. They just are color coded, which the group have already tried to make the color code match, and then Jacquet knocked them all off the bookshelf in anger. Yeah.
Huh.
Fear, and you're just going around. When you find where Bruce is, like when you go to, I see what you're trying to do. It doesn't do anything.
Okay, fair.
In fact, it like weirdly, like the way you weirdly like get weird angles of Bruce as you're moving it through. Like you just get like a close up of Bruce's ass for a second as you're like trying to like maneuver Bruce back into the room.
So like I put it through him and I could see like what he ate for breakfast.
No, it doesn't do internal.
Fearon, hang on a second. Just put it down for a second. I have an idea.
Okay, I put it down facing, so the bookcase is behind us.
Yeah, all you see is Bruce rifling through the desk.
Yeah.
Can I try to cast Dimension Door into there? Because it's a space I can see.
Yeah, you can try that.
I try that.
Bruce.
What's up?
Saskia appears next to you.
Hey. It worked. Oh, it fucking worked. Hi. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine.
Okay. They could.
Hey,
You
get in
look
here.
back and see a mirror in there, Saskia, that is showing the other room. Where you can see
Wait,
Jacquet and Fearon and Septimus. You can't hear them. You can't hear stuff going on in there.
Okay. I think Jacquet might have Dimension Door, or the spell, or somebody over there I think has. Message Jacquet and tell him to. That's not.
wait.
Gonna work.
So the fact that you are able to Dimension Door and I'm able to message means that we're at least in 120 feet proximity of the other room.
Well, I'm within 500 feet.
Right. But message is only 100. I can only message somebody from 120 feet.
Oh,
Mhm.
So-
right. Yeah.
There's.
Okay.
If only I was able to see further through the wall.
Well, now it's the two of us, Jaquette. What do you
This is
think?
literally my worst nightmare.
Septimus just like dry heaves a little bit in the back. Like he's like, did we try the books again?
Bruce is
wait.
gonna message Jacquet and relay this information that
But also-
the room that he's in and the room that me and Saskia are in they're at least 120 feet apart.
I got it. Fearon sets the bookcase on fire. We'll follow the smoke.
Jacquet is sitting on the floor, head in hands.
Fearon, do you actually set the bookcase on fire?
Yes, I start setting I use green flame blade, put my blade to like the edge of the books, and like basically just like slash.
You guys are gonna
through
like die of carbon monoxide poisoning.
it.
You see Fearon light up the bookshelf with fire.
What the fuck is he doing?
Jacquet, without even really like getting up or looking, just takes out his decanter of endless water and just hoses behind him. Because I imagine this is happening behind him.
Yeah.
He just hoses it, hitting Fearon as well.
The fire goes out with scorch marks all over the wood now.
Bruce, tell Jacquet.
Is that helpful? Did
Tell
that
Jacquet
Just smoke rising to the roof.
There's smoke. There's a light smokiness in the room now.
Great.
Is there any what do you call it?
Ventilation.
Yeah. Is there any ventilation?
No.
Is there any wind? Okay.
Bruce, tell Jacquet to take Septimus through Dimension Door if he has that. I'm pretty sure he does, and then tell Fearon to Misty Step because they can see. He can see.
Hey, Jacquet, you could Dimension Door Septimus, right?
I can.
Yeah, you could leave Fearon in the room, the burning room.
To die, yes.
Yeah. Also, Fearon can Misty Step, right? Well, that's if it's within 30 feet, which I don't think it is because I can't see beyond 30 feet.
This is so great. Okay. This is
Why don't they
classic
just try
D&D.
opening the door like in the other room? Because they have a door over there.
Can you try
don't.
opening the door first? We have
Yeah.
limited resources and we're not the end. Have you tried to open that door in that room?
No, not yet.
So
Okay.
open it, please.
All right,
Please.
all right. I'll do it now. Bruce goes and tries to open the door.
You open the door and it shows a hallway. Jacquette, Fiern, and Septimus, you see a light lights up as the outline of the door on your side. Brucey boy.
Yeah.
Had to get through that. It's about 45 feet deep. Or I guess you see 30 feet deep into this hallway. It is sort of glowing this reddish color or violet color. And on the walls are paintings that just show sort of these regal-looking mages. And some of them are doing specific schools of magic. They might just be, they might have a wand with lightning sparking off of it. One of them is mixing different concoctions. There are the violet... curtains are all coming down. You can enter this space, but your friends on the other side just see a light outlining a door.
Interesting. Hey, Jaquette,
Yeah.
What do you see anything by the door?
It's glowing.
Can you do anything with it?
Jacquette walks up to it and puts his hands. No.
Stone.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna keep traversing down this hallway.
All right.
I'll let you know. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I'm coming with you because I can see far.
Yeah. Wait, Saskia, do you think that like one of us should stay in the room? Like I could stay in the room and you can go ahead, or like vice versa?
Maybe. Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm
afraid like the door's just gonna close on us and then also seal.
Yeah.
And then...
No, that's a good point. Yeah, let me go in and see if there's something we can figure out with those paintings.
All right.
So
I enter the room.
Sass, you're entering into the hallway.
Yep.
And Bruce, you're staying behind?
Yeah, Bruce is like by the door, like watching Saskia go.
Okay. Sass, as you just enter this hallway, it's just a hallway. You're walking in, you're taking steps, nothing seems to be happening. It does feel creepy. It does feel like the faces are staring at you, but that might just be, the way paintings work.
You said the banner that I looked at when I walked in had potions and stuff on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can I go up to the painting of the wizard that is mixing shit and see if there's anything weird about it?
It's painting of a guy mixing potions.
Okay. Do they have labels or anything underneath them?
Yeah, they have little plaques with old, worn down. Likely there was names listed on here, but there aren't anymore.
Okay.
Sean.
Mm-hmm.
Can I try to cast Mage Hand into the mirror and basically cast it, because I can cast it up to 30 feet away.
Yeah.
Can I cast it in the other room and basically like tap Bruce on the shoulder?
You can. Yes, your mage hand appears in the other room.
Ah!
You all right?
Bruce, you can't even see the
Wait!
mage hand because it's floating in the air. You just feel a tap on your shoulder.
Oh, that's right.
Something's touching me.
Something's touching me,
Saskia.
I rush back out.
He would have to take his goggles off to be able to see it because he can only see with tremor
right.
sense with the goggles on.
I rush back out.
You see Jacquette's mage hand.
Does Jacquette have like an iconic mage hand style?
Yeah, what does your mage hand look like?
Yeah, Jacquette's is basically a ghastly form of his own hand, furred, clawed, with rings all over it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's very.
So after Bruce can see it blurry, but like he knows that that's Jacquette's mage hand. He's seen it enough.
And it also flips you all off, or you two. As it waves and then flips off.
Wait, so he can cast magic in the same
And you can see Jacques on the other side, miming
Yeah.
this, controlling the
Like this.
hand, and then waves to you guys with the other hand while he's like this.
So wait, that means if Mage Hand work, because I have that same spell, that distance, that Misty Steps should work. Tell them to get the fuck in here.
Jacques already turning to Fearon and like pointing and goes, I think Saskia's plan was right. If you Misty Step through there, I can Dimension Door with, gestures to Septimus behind him.
Leaving me.
He's like trying to help with the puzzle. He's like, made the rooms look too different.
As he's pointing at the scorch marks all over the place, the books all over the ground, and
Fearon's got the cloak that was over the mirror over or something.
Your mic.
I don't know if you cut that out.
Your mic keeps cutting out at the end of your sentences.
Bummer.
Might be how close it is to you.
Anyway, I got the cloak that was hidden over the mirror on my head, and like I'm waving around like a ghost. And I'm like, can you see me now?
Fearon has completely given up on the puzzle and is just like entertaining himself.
So if you Misty Step through there, I'll follow with Septimus in Dimension Door, and then we'll all be on the other side of fucking Mirrorland.
What if I told you I don't have enough spell slots for that?
Jesus Christ.
Well,
looks like
I
we're
hope
long
that's-
resting.
not the one thing that gets us through this area.
Just kidding, I do.
You got me. You fucking sack of shit. You got me. All right, you first, and I'll follow behind with Septimus.
All right. I Misty Step through.
Fearon appears on the other side of the mirror with you.
Oh, it worked.
And then shortly followed by Jacques and Septimus. As Jacques like has the scepter and goes, "All right, Seppi, let's do this, big guy."
I hate teleporting.
wait. So if we look back in the mirror, there's Techland. Just hanging out.
Oh no, that's right.
Actually, I'll say that Declan is back in the antechamber, just no. Oh no! As he's tapping the wall of where your door originally was, he didn't get through with you guys.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh, we lost Alex.
We gotta go back for him too. This is another guy we gotta go back for.
All right.
It's okay. He knows his way around the tunnels. He'll be okay.
He knows where to get food. Oh wait.
He knows his way back to the tunnels. You mean the way you magically appeared in the antechamber
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no.
by solving a riddle?
Oh, that's right. That's right. Shit.
He's never left the pantry. He just eats his mush and goes back through the tunnel.
It's all about like we're gonna save you, dude.
This is all
I
your
imagine-
fault, by the way. Oh,
All right,
amazing.
Okay, we're all here. What's next?
DM's like, "That's actually not solving the puzzle. You're still screwed."
I mean, you technically did not solve the puzzle, but you have progressed through the building. Oh my goodness! You're all in this. You can all enter into the violet hallway with the paintings. You walk through this hallway, and you see in the opposite end is another door. Above this door is a sigil that is the likeness that you saw, potions. Sass. This might be an entrance into an alchemical lab, one could think.
All right. Okay. I saw that symbol on the banners before we went into the study, the first one.
You mean this symbol? And I hold the emblem out. It's on my Is it on my little thing too?
No,
My-
you didn't
my
have
necklace?
potions on it.
No, the I thought it was the constellation thing.
Yeah, it looks like it has constellations in it, but that's not what this sigil is. This sigil is a set of potions.
Gotcha. Okay.
Might I suggest another rest before we go through, because I find myself out of spell slots.
In this hallway?
Yeah, it seems pretty safe. The paintings aren't doing much.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. We could do a quick rest.
I guess. I don't like it.
To be,
I don't like this place.
Jacques, you
moment
look up
we-
at one of the paintings, and the mage in this painting just looks a lot like your philosophy professor back in Domuzerum.
Fucking brick.
The moment it rolls over an hour, we'll go through.
Are the paintings? Do they have any like names at the bottom of them? Or anything like that?
Sass will
Oh,
wasn't
sorry.
here, Saskia. So Saskia would point out that the names have all kind of worn away. Like this room, like it smells of like mothballs and dust and ancient. Not like the previous chambers where it was all like rot and death. This just smells like a old room where most of the stuff is sort of worn away. The only thing that actually looks fairly fresh is the paintings. The paintings don't look as worn away like everything else.
So yeah, we'll rest for an hour.
Sounds good.
Sure.
Wonderful.
Bruce takes the hour to like investigate the hallway.
Give me an
Throw
investigation
rocks
check.
at paintings and
Everyone can add a D6.
Don't do your short rest yet.
that's a 19.
19. The people in these paintings look a little off to you when you start to look at them more closely. Their ears don't match their faces. Sometimes the skin tone doesn't even match. One is clearly a human but has elven ears. The hair doesn't look like it quite fits on that person.
AI portraits.
Still can't get fingers.
And I like everyone to give me a wisdom saving throw after the first 5 minutes in here.
Oh. Jesus Christ.
Can someone roll for Septimus?
I got him.
Is this a charmed or sleep effect?
Nope. Sasuke, what'd you get?
Wow.
Natural 1 for a 6.
All right. Bruce, what'd you get?
I got a 21.
21. Fionn, what'd you get?
11.
Jacquet
9.
and Septimus.
12.
Okay.
He rolled the... Oh, no. Second highest. I was going to say he was the highest.
Saskia
Mm-hmm.
and Jacquet. Please take 10 hit points off your maximum hit points.
10.
Mm-hmm. And reduce your wisdom score by 1.
Ooh.
Is Bruce, you're staring at a painting? You see whiskers grow on the face. Fur start to appear across the face. Same color as Jacquet's.
Oh, no.
You look at another one and you can see the person's eye changes to Saskia's white eye. And their hair turns to her platinum blonde hair.
Hey, these paintings are getting features that look kind of like you guys.
Are we still in the room or are we in the painting?
You're still there. No, you're still in the
Sorry. And what's our wisdom score changed to?
room. Minus
Drops
1.
by 1.
Take 1 point away.
What the fuck?
Maybe we don't rest here. How about we go to the next room?
Yeah, okay. For some reason, I feel even more tired. I'll just use my other spells.
We should burn these portraits.
Let's go to the next room first, and then we
Okay.
could assess burning everything.
Right.
Come on.
So you open the door to the next room, and you can see this is a large circular chamber again. This one's about 30 feet in diameter. In the center is a tables, curved tables that orient in a circle with space in between them. 4 tables, so you can go in and out from the interior of the circle and exterior. And the tables are covered in potions, various tinctures, all sorts of materials. In the center of the room is a small fire pit with smoldered ashes there. The walls have various shelves on them with different reagents all throughout. There's also, mingled with those shelves, desks where, Bruce, you would be able to see artificing tools. Like while this was an alchemical shop, they probably worked on some artificing things as well. And there is a haggard, unmoving form on the ground by the fire pit in the middle. They
Immediately look at fear.
They have the same heavy cloaked over them, but you can't see any features to see if they're wolf-like.
Is there a stairway across from this room?
This room actually has no exits. Other than the way you came through. Ton of gadgets all over the place and potions. But no doors.
Jacquet just gestures to the figure, like, are we gonna address the mage in the room?
I mean, do we want to do a fear? And then just...
Yeah, let's do it.
Wait. Let's all hold our actions at the same time, okay?
Do you want me to go up and talk to it? I think that's what we were planning on doing the last time, right?
Yeah.
Escos or Ladon? Jacquet shouts out to the figure.
Interesting. So as you do so, Pescos or Ladon, similar to the interactions with the wolves in the previous chamber, you hear the as the hand tenses, or a hand tenses, and you can see dust kind of like displace off of the cloak. Big hand come out with this sort of sprawled, elongated fingers and hand as it just grabs into the table to lift itself up. It's not a clawed hand of a wolf.
The gnawing roots of rot writhe through my veins.
As it looks and turns around, you can see an undead human, but possibly tall, kind of like the Sentinel, 8 feet up, elongated, really long neck, almost turtle-like. As it just sort of, you can see these dull metal jewelry all over purple vestments. As it just sort of looks around, there are no eyes in its sockets.
Servants of Ladon.
Yeah, sure. You?
Puts an arm, another arm on the table, and looks, and is looking around.
I can't see you. Come closer.
Looking to the others, Jacquet's like, no, that's okay. We're just trying to make our way up to the lighthouse.
Why?
To serve the darkness of Ladan, of course.
Come closer so I can see if your heart gleams.
Oh, trust me, it gleams a little too bright for you, I'm afraid, actually. If you look at this, the darkness of Ladan will, blind
Your
you.
heart gleams. Your heart gleams.
Gleams in the dark kind of way. You
No,
know
no,
how we Ladonians
gleams-
say.
Gleams means that it gleams with like some other god's power. Remember the other guys that the rod in them? Look, we met your
closer.
friend. We met your friend. Damn, what was his name? The Bramble Knight. Hold on, it's in my notes somewhere.
Don't think he had a name.
Hey,
He didn't
what
have
if
a name.
I
Called himself just
I-
a knight who art verdant,
Mm,
and then Sentinel is the only other thing we've called him.
dang.
I try to whisper to Jack. What if I mask you with that same gleam?
Or if he holds the sword.
Both.
And Chakra looks at them and is like, you want me to be the point man on this?
Yeah, you're really good at talking.
If you don't want to, I'll do it, but you're already talking to him.
I think the gleam is Pescos, whereas the darkness is Ladan. I think I might have fucked up a little there.
Ian steps up.
Oh, okay, never mind.
It gets closer to him. He has the,
Alright,
the
you
amulet
initiate
on.
this cutscene.
Excellent. The rest of you kind of, I imagine, still in the hallway, peeking through the doorway. See Fearon step up, and this entity kind of looks around and hears Fearon's footsteps and looks directly towards Fearon.
You step forward. You serve Lidan or Piscos.
Ladan?
Let me see you.
And a hand reaches out towards you. And is coming towards your face. And his limbs are long, like he can reach past these tables.
Don't let him touch you.
And it
Don't let him touch you.
touches your face.
Fear just lets it happen. He's actually just like half, like he's got his face like half towards him, half towards back where his friends are, and he's just looking at, like he keeps looking back at Sakia, like
The hand,
thumbs up.
the hand goes over your face and then rests on your amulet.
I grab the hand. Oh, well, I grab the amulet when he touches it, so like he can't like pull it off, sort of thing. Like I grab the part of it, you know.
And the hand kind of gestures back, like shocked at you pulling it away. And then comes back to your head. And it grabs your head.
Perfect for my painting.
You bear the christened crown of gleam. You bear the shield of darkness. Which is it, interloper? gleam. Oh, rot.
The hand squeezes your head, Fearn.
I grab the hands that are holding my head, head. Yes. And I say, I choose both. Gray's more my style. And then I headbutt him.
He's too far away to headbutt. You can headbutt his hand away from you.
No, that's no fun. I pull his hands towards me so I can headbutt him.
Yeah, no, I'll allow that, actually. Yeah, really quickly, give me an attack roll.
19 for 28.
19 is definitely going to hit. Give me well, actually, this is like a unarmed strike.
Correct.
So, would be, what's your attack?
It's just 6 damage.
Yeah, is you hit this thing in the head, you pull it forward so it's almost its elongated body comes forward, and you just headbutt it with your horns as its hand goes flying back. Next session we're gonna roll initiative. But yes, you have
Thanks
entered
for trying, Fearn.
the alchemist's lab, and disturbed the alchemist. So we will start next session with an initiative roll for a fight with this guy, or what comes of it, and we'll go from there in the tower. You've made some significant headway into the tower here. You're properly inside it, and you have manipulated the actual inner mechanisms of it a little bit, and brute forced your way through a puzzle.
Did we?
Yeah, you did not solve that puzzle.
Which one?
Mirror.
The mirror. You did not solve it. You just bypassed it,
No.
essentially.
Well, off screen, I'm going to ask you how it was
You
solved,
found.
'cause
I'm
that
not
really
going to tell you
bothered me.
because it's behind
No.
you, and there's no way back to the antechamber except through it.
Well, we have a whole week to figure it out so we could save our friend.
I just think my idea was putting it exactly to order.
He's gonna figure it out off camera, and we're all gonna be embarrassed.
Yeah. All right, folks. That's all for us tonight. Thank you for hanging out with us through some of the trickery of this astrology tower. If you liked these puzzles that I've been using, they are not my invention. This is from a Kickstarter I backed called The Tower. It is by Lola Johnson. It is essentially a tower filled with puzzles that I am borrowing some of the puzzles and changing them slightly for our setting. It is a system agnostic source, so it doesn't have like DCs or anything in it. It just tells you sort of the themes, and you can apply it to any system. So again, that is The Tower by Lola Johnson. They just deliver the PDFs for the Kickstarter.
Cool. I'll put the links in the YouTube video.
Sure.
Nice.
All right, folks, that's all for tonight. We will see you all in the future on the internet. Bye.
Bye.